has way too much salt. You know how I know?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Guys are
Yes, it totally
babies.
does. In 2008, 9, I don't know. They passed a law here in Argentina where they don't let.
As someone who
I was
eats
here.
McDonald's,
Where they don't let.
as someone who
I was
eats
here.
McDonald's,
Where they don't let. So they passed a salt. They passed like a salt regulation law for for everything, for every food process and thing, where like you had to cut it with the fucking salt because everybody's fucking dying.
Nah.
And that's how the entire country of Argentina realized we put too much salt in everything.
That doesn't sound right. Alright.
And you lower the heart disease shit like a 50%. Like right away, like the next year, like people were more healthy. Like, oh weird, we don't eat like tons of salt every day, so our hearts aren't like dying.
Yeah, we're not too concerned about that over here, apparently.
Jeff. I gotta log into my account and not Jeff's.
Whoops, I'm Shell. Low. Yeah, that's what I would say if I was Chef. That's right, brother. My goddamn right to die. God damn it. These liberals won't even let me die of a heart attack, god damn it.
Alright. Just getting finished setting up here, everybody. Won't be too long. We're gonna start kind of on time now that Jeff's not here.
Crazy.
That shit is
wild how
mad.
that works.
I want to do a sound test. Everybody, listen to my voice. Here's my audio. In fact, let's turn off this music for a second. What it is? Here's my audio. That's what I sound like. Let's hear from Shawn now. And let's hear his audio levels. And you guys tell me if he needs lowering or hiring.
This is Shawn's audio levels at his normal speaking volume that he will be at through most of the evening.
Everybody, what do you think about that?
Now we want your peaks. No? Okay.
Beef.
Yeah, beef.
Sounds good. All right, good. Yeah. Pinch higher, Shawn. We'll give him a pinch.
I do have a quiet mic, so you know
what? I even have you at 94% instead of 100. So that might even be
Hey, there you go. That explains it.
That'll probably do it. You're probably screaming about Super Metroid at one point, so I had to lower you. All right, that should be good.
Are you gonna do a 3-hour podcast about Sonic?
No,
because I'm fucking tapping out.
Nope.
Ain't
you not know what the
this
topic
fucking
is?
podcast.
It is, you know.
Christian, you don't know what the topic is?
No.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Everybody.
No, you're gonna like it. It's a top 10 fighting games.
Oh
of all
yeah,
time.
yeah.
We're gonna have fun. We got news.
It's gonna be
Oh, it's gonna be so bad.
Why?
Wait, we have great taste.
Oh,
yeah.
you do.
All right, we're gonna get started. So quiet, Christian.
Did you tweet yet?
I sure did.
Okay, let me see. It didn't come through. I'm gonna retweet.
Are you gonna do a countdown? Give me a countdown so I can put the music.
I'm gonna do the music.
Yeah, you do the music there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're gonna
just do a countdown before you play the music.
Okay. I will. Just let me know when you're ready, Shawn.
All right, one sec. Okay, make that smaller. Let me pull up Did you get everything set up with the stream that I pulled up?
The stream app? What do you mean?
In Discord, I have the stream that I usually do for the game and for everything else.
Oh, we'll worry about that when we get to the game.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah. Right. All right.
Yeah, should be good.
Okay, we're going to do a countdown. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3. Hello and welcome to the Game S Decides podcast, where we decide everything in the world of gaming so you do not have to think for yourself. I am your host today, Mike Minotti, and with me is...
Shawn, TurboShawn McDowell.
Today, we are talking about PlayStation 5 sales milestones, some new Zelda games, just like Daddy Jeff promised, kind of, and we are making a list of the best fighting games ever. But before we get started, I just want you guys to know you can find more from Shawn and me and Jeff at our Discord. Give us a good rating wherever you're listening. You can hit that like button on YouTube, please. Send in a super chat. We will answer all of those questions during the show. Thank you to Carlos Ain, who is Insane in the Ring Music on YouTube, for the use of the theme song. Thank you to One Up vs. CPU for our artwork. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods, except for the current company. And you can also support us by going to patreon.com/GameS. Gets you access to a bunch of stuff, including ad-free shows, game club discussions. Going to get you access to Columbo podcast soon, although those might be available for everyone.
Yeah.
We're not sure still what's going on there. Shawn, how's it going?
Pretty good, Mike. I had a bit of a long day today. A
yeah?
bunch of personal stuff happened. Like, you ever get a water heater changed out? Because let me tell you, that is a bit of an ordeal.
Yeah, that sounds like hell.
Yeah, if nothing else, just going without hot water for a while really sucks.
No, I would be miserable. I was talking on the dump truck today about how much I love my showers, and mostly it's because, like, it's all warm. It's like a little sauna in there. It's It's like my big I need to relax moves. I'm just gonna actually take a hot shower.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I like taking a nice hot shower at the end of the day is usually when I do it.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's been hot here in general today, though. Very muggy outside right now. I think it's one of our rare 90s degree days we've had here so far. So I've been trying to go on walks instead of napping after work like I sometimes tend to do. So if I just kind of force myself to walk, that'll kind of wake me up anyways. It was a little rough today with all that sun. I could probably use a little bit of sun anyways. I'm so gosh darn pale for an Italian. Yeah. But we got plenty of news to talk about today, starting with Sony has announced that PlayStation 5 sales have reached 40 million.
Jeez.
It did this in about 3 years. Now, actually, about 2 months slower than PlayStation 4 hit that mark. But with the production problems that they have, PlayStation 5 with the pandemic and everything, I think this still tracks very well for them. I think there's no reason to be anything but optimistic about how PlayStation 5 is doing.
Yeah, that feels crazy to me that they're only slightly behind the PS4, which was already a huge success. And then they had basically 2 years there if you just couldn't get a PS5. I'm trying to think of where it was, but me and Jeff have talked about this before of how easy is it for you to walk into a store and get a PS5? I said for the longest time, just you could not get one near me. And now they're in stock everywhere. You can just walk into even Walmart and grab one. But considering that they had those issues for so long, these numbers are really good. So it's almost honestly a little surprising because you guys have talked about on the show recently, the PS5 being a little underwhelming, both of the consoles before anyone gets
right,
comments,
both consoles,
of the consoles
not
being underwhelming.
Not in every way, but maybe just in terms of some of the power output we're getting.
Yeah, and in terms of exclusives and stuff, because games are getting,
Sure.
they take longer to make. So what you play on your new PS5, a lot of third-party stuff that maybe you could play elsewhere. So but the casual audience still sticks to their consoles, and they seem to be sticking to PS5 for sure.
Right, and of course this means that there are also now 40 million copies of Astro's Playroom out in the world now.
The best PS5 game.
100% attach rate. Well, there was a list of the most popular PlayStation 5 games, as voted on by players, attached to Sony's little blog post about this. It was 30 games, so it doesn't tell you much. But Astro was on there. I think the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge was on there, along with some Five Nights at Freddy game, right? And every first party PlayStation game was on there, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I do. Of course, whatever the Xbox Series consoles are at, it's probably not 40 million. I do wonder where it is, and they don't say anymore.
I assume they're doing better than the one, which the one picked up a little bit there towards the end, but I mean, we've said before, you don't need an Xbox console anymore, and they're okay with that. So the numbers are not going to be as strong as the competition, where you kind of only can play them on the console.
I'm still a little weirded out about their whole, and this was like the language that Phil Spencer was talking about on, the giant bomb at night couch with Jeff. I was almost a little, not weirded out, maybe a little weirded out, surprised by kind of almost how nonchalantly he's like, yeah, the console market, yeah, we lost that one, so if we have to kind of look at PC and other things. I'm not saying that they're giving up on consoles, and of course he's not really meaning that either, and yet it almost feels a little bit like, I'm like, well, I guess my big fear here, maybe not fear is not the word, but it'll be interesting and maybe disastrous if there is a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is looking more and more likely all the time. There was a fresh bout of rumors over the last week, and there isn't an equivalent from Xbox, right? What if Xbox just says, if you want a Pro, go get a PC or something? That's gonna look weird.
I guess it would, but at the same time, they do have that scalability, and the people who really want the power but are also only buying consoles, that's like not a huge crossover, I feel. At least anytime data does get released on all that, like basically it is, the PC players who want the highest of high end, and then, the tech enthusiasts in the casual market who are buying the super high end consoles. So I think the Series X is still at a perfectly fine place for now. We'll see if the PS5 Pro does end up being a thing. We'll see how big of a gap that is, because maybe it's just like the PS4 Pro was, and it's just a really good upscaler of existing PS5 tech. And so if that's the case, well, then you don't really need to rush out and get it. And then, it doesn't look like there's a huge discrepancy between the consoles.
Maybe.
So,
but I guess, for me, if you have a PlayStation 5 Pro, even it is just doing things like running 4K games at a nice 60 FPS, or even running like games in like the not 4K and in what's supposed to be the frame rate mode at a steady 60 FPS, and suddenly you get comparisons like from Digital Foundry, where here's, this game 60 FPS on PlayStation 5 Pro, and here's the best Xbox console we have right now, and it's really unsteady frame rate. Now, this is speculating on if there isn't some kind of upgrade from Xbox, and there very well could be. We're just not hearing those rumblings as much right now, and you kind of like take that in with like, just sort of this de-emphasizing of the console market we've been hearing from
and not to make it too much PlayStation versus Xbox, but just to jump off something you were saying, I think it's totally fine the way Phil did talk about it and his positioning, everything, because I think they are just forward looking over at Microsoft, because they're like, the consoles get so big as a whole. And so if we want a bigger market, we do have to start looking elsewhere. And I know some people see it as sort of getting out of consoles or not caring as much about the dedicated console. But I think it's important to note that, looking at Xbox as an ecosystem seems to be something that is going to be working for them in the long run. And so I don't think it's necessarily gloom and doom on that front. I think every company is doing their own thing right now. I think even if there's varying levels of success in the near term, I think in the long term, they all have their place right now.
All right, next up here, Nintendo has released The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons on NSO. These are Game Boy Color games. We knew these were coming, but they did get dropped somewhat suddenly yesterday. They are on there right now. Kind of the first thing here is that, so Jeff said, he said this on Nintendogs a couple weeks ago, he heard that something else was happening with Zelda for Switch that was not Tears of the Kingdom related. And somebody even asked on Tuesday, could this just be Oracles of Ages or Oracle of Seasons? And Jeff said, maybe. Literally, all I know is what I'm telling you, something Zelda related that's not Tears of the Kingdom. And then literally the next day, this did happen. So, and if Jeff would say the same thing if he was here. This might just be all that person was alluding to who said that to Jeff. This might be it, everybody. So, don't get your hopes up for the Wind Waker or Twilight Princess.
And he himself said on Twitter when someone asked him about this after the news broke, he was like, I literally said I don't know, and I mean I don't know. So maybe this was just it. So
maybe it's not it. We don't know. But here is this.
We actually don't know.
And it certainly does match up with like, people telling him, hey, they told him by the end of the year. This is a lot sooner than even that. So maybe this is all we're getting Zelda-wise. Who knows? But either way, I really like these games. I think that these are both a ton of fun. I think it's really neat how they kind of combine into one super game, right? Look, eat your heart out, Sega. These are good stuff. If you like,
are you more of an ages guy or more of a seasons guy?
I think I like seasons a little bit more. I'm kind of interested to play them again. I mean, when I played them, I play them back to back, right? So it does almost kind of like. Yeah. I think the seasons gimmick is more interesting and distinct. There are other Zelda games where you kind of like change time, and that's how the world changes, right? So the season thing is inherently more interesting to me, but it is almost kind of a package deal to me. I just kind of think of it almost as a whole.
Yeah, I remember back in the day I played both because I got them for cheap, like after they had been old for a little bit. And I don't know why. I remember liking Ages more, and I haven't played them since. Is Ages the more puzzly one? And
I forget. I know
combat,
I know one's supposed to be more combat, one is more puzzles, but like people say that, I wouldn't like get so distracted by that. I mean, it's still the same. Like they still have the same amount of dungeons and stuff. It's not like one's a Muso game or something, right? They're still pretty similar. One might lean slightly more puzzly than the other one. I bet if that wasn't drilled into people may not even necessarily have picked up on that. There's the animal companions though. That's for real. So they took a cue from Kirby with that. So that's good. Yeah, Ages is supposed to be the puzzle focus one, says Nick G, and Seasons is the combat focus one. Yeah, that's right, because Seasons does have a lot of Zelda 1 bosses in it. I remember that. And that's pretty neat. I think that's fun. So yeah, I'm excited to play these again at some point. There's a lot to play right now still, so it's a little rough time to release 2 Zelda games. Yeah, I see some people kind of despairing because maybe this means we are less likely to get remakes of these games in that Link's Awakening style. And I think that might be right. I don't know if that was ever really on the table, though. I just don't know.
I think this might be a good time to say I did not care for that Link's Awakening remake.
I'm surprised how many people like. It's like Chef wasn't super crazy about it. I liked it. I guess I don't find it super essential. I could just go and play the original whenever I want.
Yeah, it was weird because it was well executed, I feel, but like the art style wasn't something that I was into. The like very Lego like the plastic toy. I didn't care for that.
I liked the art style fine. I guess that's all it kind of comes down to. Yeah. I mean, that's really is basically what's different. That and the nice thing is being able to map more items to the buttons, because that is annoying with these Game Boy games. You have 2 slots, and one of them's for your sword, so you can even swap that out. So you are pushing pause and swapping items around a lot. You kind of do get over it, though. But I think a lot of people overlook these games for a Zelda game anyways. At the time, they were very late Game Boy games. Game Boy Advance was basically on the horizon. And, like, you look at them, and they did look like Link's Awakening, which at that point was almost an ancient game, right? It was like 8 years old or something. So, I could see a lot of people maybe miss out on these. If you asked a lot of people what's a Zelda game you haven't played, they could probably list these. They should go and play them. I think that they are a lot of fun. Beef Hammers make me laugh. It has color in it. Of course, Jeff thinks it's trash. See, not to pick on someone who's not here. Jeff's whole, like, the remake thing, I can kind of understand where he's coming from. It baffles me that he doesn't even like DX for Link's Awakening. He doesn't even like just adding color to it.
I get what he's trying to say. He's trying to say he doesn't like the garishness of Game Boy games that got converted to Game Boy Color games. I get it. I don't agree with it. I will say that much. I think it looks fine. It's 8-bit color. What do you want? Like, I don't know. I like DX a lot. So.
Do you like the Oracle games more than the Minish Cap? Because I'm still probably mostly like I probably would put Minish Cap even above them personally. Even though I think these games break a better pace. They don't have some of that slow down and talk to you constantly problems that especially the beginning of Minish Cap has. And these are they're related because this is also the Capcom people making these.
Right. I said before that I'm not a big Zelda guy in general, but really that's like I'm not a big 3D Zelda guy. I do really like 2D Zelda, and I actually think I like the Oracle games a little bit more because they do feel like that old school 2D Zelda of Link to the Past and Link's Awakening and stuff, and sort of that lineage. Whereas Minish Cap felt like too much of a departure for me, and that's why I didn't like some
I
of the
can
things
see
in
that. I
that
mean, Minish
game.
Cap definitely was sort of taking more in from the 3D Zelda games than definitely even than this was, right? Like, there's
Right.
probably a little Ocarina in here, obviously with ages, but still mostly kind of feels like descended from the original Zelda.
Right.
All right, next up here, this is from IGN, but Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian will definitely make a Divinity Original Sin sequel, but not before taking a break. Larian boss Swen Vinke? I'm sorry, I'm not sure. Said IGN. Divinity Original Sin is our own universally built, so we're definitely going to get back there at some point. We'll get back there at some point, but we're going to finish this one, Baldur's Gate 3 now, then take a break because we will need to refresh ourselves creatively also. You're seeing 400 developers putting their heart and souls into this, getting the best of them, and they're crafting this game. So I can tell you, it's quite a thing. I think this is good to hear. Maybe not shocking, but Divinity Original Sin 2, I know was a very well received game. I played a good bit of it. I really liked it. I never quite got around to getting as far into it as I like, because something always comes along and distracts me. And they did build a pretty interesting world of their own. I think it makes a ton of sense for them to jump at the opportunity to make a Baldur's Gate 3. I think that's going to reach an even bigger audience than Divinity Original Sin did. But it is nice to hear them basically saying, like, yeah, we're going to do Original Sin 3 next.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm not a huge fan of like the more D&D style RPGs, or it's so weird to me that these are called what, ARPGs, right?
No, that's
like,
an action RPG. This is CRPG, computer
this
RPG.
is CR. You see,
See?
RPGs have done. We've had this discussion on other episodes, but these prefixes are dumb. Anyways, yeah. But ARPGs and CRPGs, the more point and click with a mouse style isometric RPG have never been my thing, really, either of them. And so I don't have much to say of this other than I know that people do like Divinity, so I'm happy to see that they're doing more of it, because it's always good when devs get to do stuff with their own IPs rather than just relying on pre-existing ones, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. And they did a good job building that up. Like Divinity Original Sin 1 seemed like this kind of surprise hit, and then Divinity Original Sin 2. There was like a big revival of these style of RPGs, and I think Divinity Original Sin 2 is still kind of brought up as the best of them, with your Pillars of Eternity, and they made like all that stuff that was happening around. And I hear that one kind of brought up the most. So I think Divinity Original Sin 2 is my most started game. I constantly starting it. I started on my Steam Deck. I started when it came out. Started the console version and always like it, and then always just kind of fall off. Unfortunately, my problem is it's kind of my problem with all of those games, even the original Baldur's Gate. I like the role playing quite a bit, actually, like walking around and like having my talking modifiers. I find the combat in them a little impenetrable sometimes. All right, next up here from VGC, Pikmin 4's first week sales in Japan were more than those of the first 3 Pikmin games combined. Famitsu published the physical game sales chart for the week ending July 23rd, and Pikmin 4 is at number 1 with about a little over 400,000 copies sold. By comparison, based on archived Famitsu information, the first Pikmin was a little bit over 100,000 in its first week, Pikmin 2 a little bit over 160,000, Pikmin 3 a bit over 90,000, just the original Pikmin 3. And it's interesting here is that this only counts physical sales, right? So Pikmin 4 probably actually did a good bit better than 400,000. I'm actually not sure Japan how much that split is between digital and physical over there. So this is both great news and also not too surprising. There are so many more people that have Switches at this point than who ever had GameCubes
Switch effect
and Wii U's.
in action. Yeah.
Big Switch effect. This is kind of like the Switch effect I wanted Metroid to get, and got a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But it seems like Pikmin 4 is getting it in a pretty big way. I see some people say like, "Oh wow, Pikmin 4 is doing better than Final Fantasy 16." But again, a lot more Switches than PlayStation 5s in Japan. Tons of those. Right. But this is good news. I see people seem really happy with Pikmin 4. I hear mostly good things. I hear like from the grapevine, some people think it's a little easy. I don't even know how much of that is a complaint. I am generally just seeing people really enjoying it.
That's good. I'm not a Pikmin guy. As me and AJ established on Nintendogs, neither of us big Pikmin fans. But Pikmin is an interesting one because it is like, with the more cutesy art style and everything, they do try to go for that more family friendly approach for a for RTS, I guess,
Kind of,
game,
yeah.
like kind of ish. So it's kind of impressive that they managed to like mainstream that at all. So you know what, I'm happy for the Pikmin pervs. You know what, Jeff Grubb, you got yours. Attaboy.
Yep, there it is. I mean, the Pikmin people are almost like Jeff's like shocked people actually do care about Pikmin, because sometimes it could feel so much like he's the only one who likes it. But there are a lot of people who do, or who at least show up for it. A
lot of like Nintendo fans do at the very least, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I've not been a Pikmin person, but I've become Pikmin curious. I played the demo for 4 and did enjoy it. I do want to play more of it. I'm surprised how kind of relatively long this one seems. I like the original Pikmin, people can supposedly beat in like 9 hours. I think this one is probably closer to 30 hours, it sounds like. So it's a meaty game for Pikmin. Next up here, CD Projekt Red plans to lay off around 100 staff, which is about 9% of its team.
That's 9%?
Yeah, about 9%.
I didn't realize they had gotten that big. Damn.
Right. And so this is an organizational update message posted on the studio's site. The CEO there, Adam Kaczynski, stated that the company was to have teams that are more agile and more effective, and that after analyzing the teams in the company, the decision has been made that some are no longer needed. Man, and the worst case, this reads to me like those weird people who are like, Elon Musk fired half of her stuff and everything's fine, kind of downsizing, which is incredibly problematic. But I don't know, like CD Projekt Red is a studio that really hired up after Witcher 3 was this giant hit. So it's not hard for me to believe that they were maybe overstaffed. Still, though, that's a lot of layoffs. That's pretty shitty.
Yeah, it's always shitty when we have to like see a bunch of people get their jobs like kind of tossed away because someone didn't plan this out properly. It's just, I always hate hearing about this. I always hate seeing about it on social media, like everyone talking about like, well, found out I got laid off today. It always hurts. I don't know. Like I said at the top, it's really wild to me that CD Projekt got this big. Because
they had aspirations of being the next Rockstar when Wild Hunt did well, and right, I mean, they had Gwent happening right then. They were really, really high on Cyberpunk, and they had
clearly they got
a bit big for their britches.
I don't know what the term would be, cocky with Cyberpunk, because they did not stick that landing. It's gotten better now,
right? And people are really excited for that expansion, right? And that's what this is kind of shitty, because it seems
and
like
everyone who's played it. Everyone who's played it is saying like, yeah, this is what the game should have been when it launched. It's like, yeah, who would have thought? Like 2-ish years of development later, it's finally what it should have been. So, yeah, I don't know. Something's up there with management. That's what it looks like to me between that and this and everything that's going on over there.
Yeah, and I mean, gosh, you have to wonder what's going on with the next Witcher, because expectations for that are going to be really high. And I could see a world where that's like becomes the Mass Effect Andromeda of that series. I don't want that, but you had like this trilogy and it like wrapped up in this satisfying way. And now here's the next one anyways, because of course there has to be a next one. Like The Witcher is just in a precarious place as a franchise. So they got to be really careful with that. All right, it's nice we have you here, Shawn, because there's a bunch of fighting game community news this weekend.
That's right, yeah.
Starting with the one I find most exciting, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 was announced. This is going
finally.
This is going to have some new characters, including Squidward and Jimmy Neutron. Shocked Jimmy Neutron wasn't in the original.
This wasn't a joke, right? Because I haven't been following this. His dad made it in, but he didn't.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, his dad was in the. That's right. I remember that now.
Freaking weird, man.
His dad was a bit of a meme. These fighting games love the memes. Like they had Shaggy and Multiverses as like a cover character, and it was all that Ultra Instinct Shaggy stuff or whatever it is.
I mean, that was dope. I don't diss Ultra Instinct.
It is,
Shaggy,
but I feel like that killed the joke though, right? Like it's once.
Oh, it did, yeah.
Yeah, once like the company starts acknowledging it, it's like that Pokemon episode of Pokemon. Once your parents like Pokemon, then
once your parents were on Facebook, we all Exodus. Yeah,
exactly. There's also some nice graphical improvements. I love to show the graphical improvements. They actually like showed the old April O'Neil model. You know how I feel about April. And then they showed like the new one. Big improvement. Very big improvement.
They didn't just improve it. They like
it's like
it
they
looks like
redesigned
they
it.
remade it. Like
Right.
this is like when I saw that was 2 when I was watching, I was like, I mean, this is just Nick All-Stars, isn't it? And then they show the side by side. I'm like, oh no, they
It's a big
basically
upgrade.
did remake everything. It's more than like a Super Street Fighter game. It is a sequel, even if a lot of stuff is like obviously not in terms of scale, but it seems like it's almost like a Smash 4 to Smash Ultimate thing where they are building on the base, but everything is improved. Which cool.
Right. The original was really criticized for not having voice acting. They later added it in kind of an update. This one will have that from the start, which I think is going to help it seem like a more premium product from the beginning. It's coming out for just about everything. It's going to have some new single player stuff. I thought there was promise with the first All-Star Brawl. It kind of felt like even they were surprised that it caught on as much as it did, and it didn't have the budget to really match those expectations, and maybe this time they can. So I am hopeful here. Next one, Granblue Fantasy versus Rising is getting rid of penalties for using simple inputs. Shawn, what does this mean?
Yeah, this is one of the 2 that I had here. So it's exactly what it sounded like. If you weren't aware, Granblue Fantasy versus the existing game, Rising is the Rising is like the All-Star Brawl 2 that's coming out shortly here, where it will have upgraded graphics and new gameplay mechanics and yada, yada, yada. What they're doing is something that kind of took off on Twitter in the FGC. The director said that they are... The way it worked in the first one was you would have cooldowns for all your moves if you did the simple input version of them. So, like sort of modern control stuff in Street Fighter 6 to give people context there. But just like, in Street Fighter 6, you do 20% less damage if you choose to use modern controls. In Granblue Fantasy versus Rising, they're just getting rid of any kind of penalties for doing simple inputs. They can even, they're even giving you the option of turning off as they're calling it, technical inputs. So, like quarter circles and Z motions and stuff. They're even giving you the option to straight up turn those off so you don't accidentally get them. So that way everything will be smash inputs like, forward and attack, backwards, all, that kind of thing. So I wanted to bring this up with you because this will get into the topic of the show at the end here. But you being... We're both fighting game enthusiasts. Like you're on the more casual side of enthusiast.
More so than me.
I'm more competitive enthusiast, but we're both sort of in the middle of the two.
I'm the Matt McMuscles and you're the
I'm the Max. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So I'm wondering what you think of this, of making just simple inputs, not just, as good, but making them basically the default. What do you think about this?
Default. I always say the one thing I like about fighting games is how transferable a lot of the skills are from one game to another. And I think that's the nice thing about what you would call classic controls in a Street Fighter, is if you learn to play Street Fighter 6 with classic controls, you could basically take that and you will know how to play, King of Fighters or Granblue Fantasy
previous
versus,
Street Fighters,
or old Street Fighters, or future Street Fighters, things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's my one thing. I don't ultimately care if people want to do simpler controls, simpler inputs. I mean, I do get it. I mean, it's still something of a hot topic even for Street Fighter 6, right? There are still some people who aren't happy about modern controls, don't think they should be allowed in ranked, stuff like that.
But at least they're an option in 6, whereas in here, they're the old inputs are going to be in there, but they're basically making it so that if you're not doing the simple inputs, you're kind of messing up, because it's why not just do the thing that's easier to use?
Do you think they feel better kind of being experimental with this in Granblue Fantasy over Dark Systems, not necessarily Guilty Gear or Dragon Ball
That's
Fighters?
basically what they said without saying explicitly. They were like, I don't have it pulled up here. It's a very long Twitter post. You can go find it if you want to. But paraphrasing here, the director was like, and we feel that this is the right game to try this bold new approach. So they're basically saying we don't want to try this in Guilty Gear. Maybe we don't even want to try this in BlazBlue. But Granblue, where there's a lot of casuals coming in from the mobile game and everything, maybe this is a good place to try this out.
When are we getting a new BlazBlue? They haven't actually done BlazBlue/BlazBlue. I never remember.
So
with the newer Dragon Ball Fighters style engine, right?
We don't really know what Arxis is up to outside of Granblue Fantasy versus Rising. What a mouthful. We don't really know what they're up to outside of updating existing games. So maybe at EVO next weekend, we might hear what's next from them. Because the last one was BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. The one that was the big
right,
crossover
and that was
Persona
still like
and
the old pixel art stuff. That wasn't like
yeah.
like
and
Strive.
it was an older game. Yeah, that was like 2018 or something. So it's been a while. So maybe we'll see.
It's probably more likely that the next game is just Fighters 2, huh? Like Dragon Ball again, because that probably was their most financially successful fighting game, I imagine.
Mike, I'm still holding out hope that we get a Persona 5 arena from them.
Oh, that'd be so cool. That
would be so cool.
Like
Come on.
I was about to say that, sorry.
Yeah,
they need to make another Persona in the game.
They brought back ridiculous. 4. They need to do 5. Come on.
Right, and do that in that engine so I can kick butt with Chie again. That I liked how that kind of did quote unquote simple controls where every character had a kind of one mash combo and it like did okay damage. It would even use a super bar if you had one. I thought that was a pretty nice way.
They've been doing that for a while because Guilty Gear has had that as well for a while now.
It's like all the Arc System games to me, like their big problems, less so than the inputs, is just that there's always some kind of like, there's 2 meter systems and there's a zillion things you can do with the meters and it's always a bit. It's like, use your double trick X cross thing to increase your defense by 10%.
That is why they tone things down a lot in Strive, and that's why, I don't have any elegant way to put this in, but, a while back now, as it was 2 weeks ago or something, the EVO player numbers came out, and Street Fighter 6, 7,000 competitors, which is nuts. But Guilty Gear Strive still going strong at almost 2,500. So, clearly mainstreaming things and simplifying things, it worked. They got more people in.
I like Guilty Gear fine. I somehow just never even touched Strive. I think the timing just kind of was weird.
Hey, it's on Game Pass and everything, so you want to dip your toes. There you go.
But once we have BlazBlue, my girl Noelle Vermillion's back, I'll be in there for sure. Okay. She better have her beret though. Me and berets.
Boys, Of course he played Noelle.
I like beret.
Oh my god, that was so
I like beret characters. Okay.
That's right.
Projekt L, we got an update on that. This is the fighting game from Riot that has kind of been in the works forever. It seems like we got more info and more screen time on this than we've had in a long time. Run it by me, Shawn.
All right, so the main points here are, as we knew already, Projekt L is a tag fighting game, so like Marvel versus Capcom. What we thought would be the case, but we didn't know for sure, has been confirmed with this latest news dump. There is a duos mode, so like duos in your MOBAs like League of Legends. They are doing it where you can sit down with a friend, on your couch or online or whatever, and you can each play one of the 2 characters on your team, which I think is really cool. Other games have done this, like Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Mortal Kombat 9 have both done this. It's a very cool mode, to just... It's another way to get your friends involved in a way that isn't just hey, learn this fighting game and then we'll play. Because with this, you can carry your buddy a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, you can carry me.
Exactly, yeah. Me and you can hit online. And the funny thing is, they confirmed you can even do 2v1s. So, maybe, 2 newcomers come in and they want to, play together, because that way maybe they'll have a little synergy there. And then, the expert of the group plays by themselves. And, maybe that'll be a little harder.
Oh, me versus you, too.
Out.
Yeah, there you go.
Chris, you shut the hell up.
It must be, that would make sense for, couch stuff and, for casual. In competitive mode, I imagine a person controlling both characters is just going to have an easier time doing combos with the tags and stuff like that.
Probably,
it would be an advantage. But still, it's neat. I do like in fighting games, especially as somebody who played Overwatch for a while and got very frustrated at how often, I felt like I was losing or something was happening because of the team. Whether it was true or not, in a fighting game, I know it's me, right? It's just me. It's fine.
Right.
So you're going to lose a little bit of that if you have a tag partner.
All the FGC heads were joking on Twitter, this is going to be the most mainstream fighting game ever because they brought in the one thing that fighting games have always been missing, blaming your friend.
Exactly. So, but at least if it's my friend, that's fun. I wouldn't be interested in this if it's you get paired up with a rando. Yeah. And for that, I think you will just do 1 versus 1 normal tag rules. But I think that's neat. Yeah. I'm kind of excited for this just because, I played a little bit of League of Legends, probably 8 years ago now. I don't remember. And I liked the game. I liked the characters a lot. I just didn't want to play a MOBA for very long. But they've always have kind of had fun characters. So I'm really excited that like a fighting game is going to give me a way to interact and play with those characters and not make me play a MOBA.
Definitely. We did get a little more info on it. Speaking of like we mentioned tagging a lot. The fuse system. So Mike, you'll be kind of familiar with this. It's like SNK or CVS grooves. So you'll be able to like sort of choose how your characters go into battle. I forget the exact details of them, but some of them are like they have this thing called handshake tagging, which is a like Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite thing that they took, where when you tag in the character, you can switch to that character as well. And like one of the fuses that you can choose is double handshake tagging. They call it double down, I believe. So you can be fighting and then you tag in the other person and you like set up a combo with them or something like that. And then if you have this fuse active, you can tag back to the other character. So you can swap between the two characters. Like it's
KFC double downs is sounding spicy.
There's some other ones, like there's one that's like a comeback mechanic, and so it seems like basically the fuse will be your way to sort of add maybe a mechanic of another frame into here, and sort of make your Echo and Ari more unique than like your friend who plays the same characters or something like that. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah, and then the last little bit here, which pertains to me, I'm very excited. There will be a demo at EVO, and this is going to be the first time that the public gets to play this game. So I'm very excited because I'm going to EVO, and I'm going to be trying this out, and Tekken 8, and MK1, and all these games.
I'm going to play Tekken 8 out soon myself. I'm excited.
You little bitch.
What are you jealous about? You're going to get to play it too. It's all good.
Yeah, I'll get to play it for like one match after standing in line for an hour. Yeah, it's gonna be real fun.
And I remember, very early on at GamesBeat, I covered the fighting game from the company that Riot bought to make Project L. It was like something with robots. Rising Thunder, and like the whole thing there was kind of using cooldown special moves and simpler inputs for it instead of quarter circles and things like that. Like that was the impetus.
Yeah, and clearly a lot of that is going into this game now because they. I guess I didn't put this in there. They did confirm that I think they talked about in the past, but the controller layout is going to be like the simple inputs that we mentioned earlier, pressing like a direction plus special rather than doing like quarter circles and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they're definitely trying to get more people in. And I guess that sort of plays in a topic we were just talking about. That does seem to be the way going forward to like get people in.
It seems to be a trend for sure.
Yeah, make inputs simple, but have there be a lot of mechanical depth. And you know what? I'm here for it. If it gets more people playing, that's what we need.
Yeah, why not? All right, that's it for the news. I got a few super chats here to go through. Darachi says, shout out to TurboShawn. Hey, that's you.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, Grug here says, thanks for the TV Talks recommendations on Tuesday, Mike and TurboShawn. Mike looks less like a boomer on the LG C3. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. You got the LG C3. Very nice. Yeah, I've had my it's over on the other side of the room. My LG B8 for a very long time now. That was because they're on 3, so that means this is like the 5-year-old model at this point.
I don't think I could tell you what what model my TV is right now.
You're so old.
I'm not sure
who. Oh my God.
What company is it? I don't even know. I don't even know.
I got this Vizios in the corner.
When I go to buy a TV, I think about that, and like I look and I like ask people like, "What TV should I get?" Like I care then. Once I get it home, who cares? Like, I have the TV now. Like
you know what that tells me, Mike? You know what that tells me?
What?
You didn't buy a good one.
Well,
you totally be bragging like, yeah, I got.
I bought an okay one, but I bought it 5 years ago now, and I'm at this point now where I'm like, I do so little gaming in the living room. That's not something I'm going to spend money on TV. I'll spend it on GameCube games instead. Because why not? JD Camp says, have you done a 90s Disney show on the dinosaurs? No, JD Camp, but me and my brothers love that show. Shawn, you poor precious little Shawn. I don't know if you ever saw the hit ABC sitcom Dinosaurs with Baby Sinclair, not the mama.
I saw the final episode.
Right, like that always circulates as a meme, and like that's something. But the show,
I saw it in some social studies or history class or something because the teacher just liked the show and was like, here, Ice Age. All right, let's go.
It is like the ending is bananas, but it is an incredible show. It tackled like very serious topics like sexual harassment and drugs and like environmental crises and like ageism and all
Was
this
that
stuff.
like
But
late 80s or?
oh, this is 90s, probably early to mid 90s. I'm thinking, kind of
Okay.
It is and it's done with these gorgeous Jim Henson puppet suits that still look kind of amazing. Incredible prop work and things like that. JD Camp says 1991 is when it started. I think it's still just a really, really fun, goofy show. Then there's something kind of timeless about it because of like all the funny costumes and stuff like that.
You know, it is kind of interesting how the quality of a puppet can really sell you.
Oh yeah.
And, like if you look at the old TMNT movies, they had different costumes for each one. And going from the originals, which were extremely emotive and everything, to 2, which was like kind of a step down there, to 3. Go on.
I mean, I'm a whatever too, but yes, by 3 it wasn't Jim Henson anymore is the problem.
Yeah, so it was just like rubber chicken suits in the shape of a turtle. Basically,
right.
They looked awful.
Yeah, 3 is bad. I thought 2. Now I'm curious. I want to compare 1 to 2. In my mind, they were the same, but you might be right.
I think they were different. They were like a slight step down. But
Interesting.
I might be misremembering.
Yeah, but it was still Jim Henson, and Jim Henson also did the dinosaur show, which is why they are so good. Yeah, JD Camp, we're gonna have to do that episode. I'm surprised we haven't yet, because again, all the Minottis love that show. Chris says, do you guys think Sony could bring back PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale now that the PlayStation brand is riding so much higher than in the PlayStation 3 era? I don't think so.
I think they should try.
I mean, how much did a PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale cost? For one thing, come up with a better name this time. That'll help.
Yes. Just call it PlayStation All-Stars and you got it.
Yeah,
like you didn't need
they added
Battle Royale.
I don't know
that
what
was
the
so
hell that
weird.
was. Yeah.
And now it's just a meme because, everyone's just like, whoa, a Battle Royale? Like they made that so many years before PUBG? Like, ugh.
That's such a fun game. And they're not... I worry because they do it now. I think it actually would be more of a Smash clone, and I liked its weird, like, you can only kill people with special moves thing. It was incredibly
No. Here's the
unbalanced.
problem with that. You could only kill with super moves.
Right.
And that's why it sucked, is because if you spend your super, it's like, well, great, now I can't win the game. And that's just dumb.
I liked it, though. It was so weird. I mean, it was goofy. It was really incredibly unbalanced because some people just had way better supers that killed more people.
Exactly.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. But there was something about it that I thought was really fun.
There's something there. They could try again.
They added Cat. My girl Cat as DLC in it too from Gravity Rush, and that made me happy. Had a good roster. I wish they could just remaster it or make it even the base version available on PlayStation 5. I thought that game was really underrated. I kind of had a bit of a "what do you people want" thing when people were so down on that. I thought that game was a lot of fun. Sweet Tooth's in it. I think he's actually just called Sweet Tooth, even though everyone these days loves to be like, "Well, actually, that's the car's name." Yeah, Sure.
Yeah, I didn't know about that until they brought it up on the Bombcast or whatever.
Yeah, I still
where I was
kind
like,
of don't believe it.
Wait, what? Like the Sweet Tooth is the car? That's so dumb. Like,
Cascoder saying Tomba was planned for PlayStation All-Stars and was apparently going to be the next DLC. That makes me sad. But yeah, there's so many people that they would obviously add now, like Astro, like Aloy, Jin. They'd probably add
they couldn't work out that deal for Crash anymore.
No, yeah, you're right. That ship sailed. I was shocked they didn't get him last time. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, they'll probably throw in Cade 6 just to annoy Christian, and they confirmed to me that people did in fact like him. Atreus, thank you, Chris. I forgot the name for Kratos' son. Boy. You can have Returnal Girl in there. Why not? I guess
Sure.
Why not?
Yeah.
I hope so. I don't think it's ever happening, but God, I would actually love PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Big Jimbo Ryan. Okay, here's what we should talk to about this. But he says, "Hi, fellas. Would really love for new Sly Cooper games. I wonder who I'd have to talk to make that happen. Is there any old PlayStation IP you want back?" Yes, Big Jimbo Ryan. Jumping Flash.
Jimmy's favorite over there.
Yeah, but like seriously, Jumping Flash 2 was such a fun game. Jumping Flash 2 basically had Metroid Prime's control scheme before Metroid Prime came out, right? Where it's kind of the first-person tank thing. It's like, it's that. Even with the jump. It even literally, like, Metroid Primes, you jump and you start looking down to the ground. That's straight from Jumping Flash. Jumping Flash, like, just had it all figured out. Such a cool game. I'm upset we never had more. I was very happy when the characters showed up in Astro's Playroom, because again, Astro's Playroom is just like the best game. But yeah, I would kill.
I'm trying to think of why I would even want, like, because they have sort of brought back a lot of the characters I would want, like Ratchet. Like,
I would like a new Jak and Daxter, especially.
Yeah.
I guess I differ from most people. I think a lot of people want one more like Jak 2 or Jak 3. I like those games. I like the original, like very Mario 64 inspired Jak and Daxter the most still. I never played Sly. I should just do that because I'm sure I would actually.
Sly Cooper was the one that I probably played more than Jak and Daxter. I was always a Ratchet guy, but I think Sly Cooper was the one that I played after that, despite their despite it not being as well. I mean, it was still popular, but not like as popular as Jak and Daxter, I would say. But yeah, I mean that's the thing when thinking about these. Like, to me, PlayStation has always been strong for its third-party relations. So I'm thinking of, like, what are great PlayStation games? Metal Gear Solid,
right?
Final Fantasy VII, Mega Man Legends,
right?
Like,
yeah, but
yeah, all these games I love that are like other companies. So it's a little hard for me to think of outside, Sly and Jak and Daxter.
There still are some franchises that I really would like to see back. At least like the Ratchet style, where you would get one cool one. Generation Ape Escape is so much fun, and that's such a neat idea. It's a bit of a shame we haven't had a new one of those.
Yeah, try something new with that.
Forever. Yeah.
There you go.
Nothing from the PlayStation 3 era, except for Uncharted. I don't need a new Resistance. I don't need a new Killzone. I'm pretty good.
You know what? I
Or
do like
Infamous.
Infamous. I do like Infamous. I think
okay.
they went in a good direction with it. They just need to go further. They just needed to make it, more fun. But I guess they basically have that covered with Spider-Man now.
Right, exactly. What's the best Infamous? Is it Second Son?
I think it's Second Son / First Light. Yeah, because First Light expanded on it in some ways I really liked. But yeah, in terms of base games, Second Son.
MN Goldie says, I don't have a PlayStation 5. Spending too much on Superchats. No problem with that. At this point, should I wait until 2024 and get that Pro? I have a good PC and can wait for Spider-Man. If you can wait, but there's still no guarantee about a Pro, and if something doesn't get announced, like by the end of the year, maybe just bite that bullet. I don't know. That is always the awkward thing, right? If you've already waited this long to get a PlayStation 5, and now it's like maybe a new one's coming.
Yeah, you have to weigh like how much do you want to play the exclusives, because if that's the big thing. I'm a PC Switch gamer, just like it sounds like Goldie is, just like Jeff is, and we're always saying like I go to my console for the exclusives. Like I don't even have my own PS5. I borrowed my buddy's so I could play FF16, and after playing I was like, I've played Ratchet, I've played this, I could play God of War, I could play Horizon, but those are probably coming to PC at some point. I'm just like, I don't know. You really have to think about how badly do you want to play that like handful of dozen or so exclusives right now.
That Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart just came to PC. Apparently, that's a pretty good port, actually, of that one.
Yeah. I saw it. It has like a couple of very minor issues, but in general, apparently it's very good. Which, hey, Nixies, who would have thought? Get the PC people to do a PC port. It's good.
There you go. God, I do like that game. I like that game a lot. That's it for Super Chats for now. If you guys have more, please send them. We will read them before the end of the show. We're going to take a short break here. We've got a couple of games we are going to play when we get back, so stick around. We will be, are, and even be. Alrighty, let's set up this next scene.
Okay.
All right. I got good to go.
All right.
Okay. Oh, how am I gonna do this? Because I have to keep you big and do this. I'll figure it out.
You have a 4K screen, so as long as you keep the Discord window pretty good.
Oh, you had the wrong. Yeah, you had the wrong layout for this thing.
Yeah. I'll figure it out. It'll be good enough. Don't worry.
Yeah, you can just overlay it over the window if you need to.
Yeah, you just put it on top.
That's what we did last time. It's fine.
It'll be good enough.
It's me. Hi. Hello.
It's me. Hi. Shawn's the problem. It's me.
Yeah, it does sound like so needs to.
Shawn always agrees. Okay.
I have the right background image for this episode. This is perfect.
Do. Felicia, let's go. Actually just duplicate this. Copy and paste.
Here we go again.
I agree, Duct. Mike has been a good guest so far.
Incredible. Rename this to game.
I will defend PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale until I die.
It's a good game.
That was a good game.
I think just the HP mode should have been the default. I think that would have been enough to set apart from Smash, but
No. I like the one. No, I like the default that you have to use your super to kill people.
Yeah, I think it would be alright for specials, but super.
I was tricking bro. I was tricking so many motherfuckers with that shit. It's like, oh yeah, you're using your super. I'm just gonna save mine for a little while.
All right,
just hit him with the reverse curse technique.
Why does it have that microphone? I don't want that microphone there, but I might have to live with it. I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal. All right,
it'll be all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom, then we can do this.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
BRB, everybody.
All right, Christian, it's our time to shine.
Who the fuck likes K6?
Bro, I don't know.
I like K6. I don't know why everybody think I hate K6. It was like,
I think you actually said I hate K6 one time.
Nah,
like when they brought him back or whatever, you're like, man, fuck this guy.
No, I like K6. It's just like they definitely killed him because he wasn't like. I don't know why people think like, oh, K6 is like the face of Destiny. It's never like that.
Oh, my camera is frozen. Whatever Mike did. Oh no.
Oh, because he might have clicked it away. Don't worry.
He probably minimized Discord or something.
Yeah, minimized Discord. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's okay.
We'll all know. You're not missing anything. I look basically the same.
That was the whole thing with Destiny 2 when it came out. It was K6 and Zavala. There was like, it was like they tried to make the game like jokey and serious at the same time.
I see.
Yeah, one side was like, oh, it's jokey. All the trailers of Zavala were like serious storytelling shit, and all the K6 trailers were like fourth wall breaking jokes.
Mike, did you minimize Discord or something?
Why?
Because I and the game appear to have paused.
I probably did do that by accident. Good call, Shawn. Good call. Good work. All right. I think we're ready to go, though.
It was me who realized, but
good job.
It's okay.
Good call, John. Who realized, but
good job, everybody.
No, I didn't.
Team effort. It was a team effort. It was a team.
No, it was all me. It's just all me. Please, I need one.
All right. Let's get a good pause in there for Christian, and then we'll get into this.
All right, we are back. We are ready to play some games. It looks like I have somebody besides Jeff to trounce and destroy. And closest to the messy pin this time. Actually, I think we're about even. He might even be doing a little better than me. But that's okay. I'm going to win today for sure.
Mm-hmm. Just like you did last time?
Did I lose against you?
You did. It wasn't a blowout. But
who can remember? Who could say?
Who can remember? Anyways, this is Closest to the Messy Pin Special Guest Edition, Volume 2, presented by TurboShawn, powered by Metacritic, executively produced by Benji Bob Kojima. Anyways, if you don't know, this is the game where every round, Abdi, we will be looking at a certified retro game that is older than 10 years, for those who don't know. The goal is to predict the game's Metacritic score. We use a closest to the pin scoring system, so for every point deviated away from the actual point you get 1 point added to your score. It's like golf. You want to have the lowest score, the lowest deviation by the end of the game. If we guess the exact number right, instead of getting 0 points, we will deduct 5 points from our total score. Now, Mike, I told Benji Bop what we were doing for the topic of the show today. So I have a feeling I know what the theme is. I have not looked at the games, though, so we're on even footing here.
Okay.
What do you say we flip a coin and see who goes first?
You do it. I know how much you like to flip your coins.
Absolutely. I'll do it in alphabetical order. Heads would be you, Mike, so you get to pick first. You get to tell me what you think. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale for the PlayStation 3, released November 20th, 2012, based on 69 nice critic reviews on Metacritic.com.
All right, good. Yeah, this is funny. yeah, like I said, I remember it like not doing super well, which of course doesn't mean like it was in the 60s or something. But yeah, I should have done better. I think I'm gonna say 74.
74. Okay, it's interesting that you say that because I was definitely thinking right off the bat 75 because I think it leaned a little higher in the 70s. I want to say so. I'm gonna put a little bit of distance between us just to make things interesting. I'll say 76. I'll go up a little bit here.
Okay,
So,
I like it. Might be
right,
75. It might be 75.
we might split the difference here. I'm saying 76. Mike is saying 74. The actual score is 74.
Go.
You bastard.
Let's fucking go. Hell yeah.
Dang. Good guess.
I like it.
So Mike has -5. I have 2. Going into round number 2. Marvel versus SNK 2? I think he means Capcom versus SNK 2. Mark of the Millennium 2001.
That would be a fun game, though.
I'm pretty sure that's what he means. Release on the... Is that... Yeah, okay. Because I'm trying to see. It's PlayStation 2, November 6, 2001.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's Capcom.
It's got to be CVS 2. CVS 2, very highly regarded.
By critics, right? The critics get it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe they're like, pixel game, gross, old.
Yeah, and not a lot of content, and mostly an arcadey kind of thing. I think the Prestige would have carried it a little, though. So I'm going to say, I'm going to go maybe a little higher than I'm talking about. I'm feeling 82. 82 feels right for this.
I think a little bit better than that, probably.
Oh.
I think you're not too far off it. I will once again say 84. Also, I don't know why this thing is pulsing every time you're clicking on something, but that's okay.
Listen, man, nobody knows.
But it's doing what the scoreboard's just doing what it's going to do, I guess.
It's its natural state, yeah. All right, well, I got 82. Mike's got 84. The actual score is... 81.
Oh, nice. Good job. Well done.
One off.
That's insane.
Right.
That's such a good game. I mean, maybe the PlayStation 2 version, it has to be good enough. That's insane.
I feel like it just got points knocked off for lack of content. Because, fighting games at this time were mostly just arcade ports. And so they were like, hey, it would have been nice to see something a little more. I respect it. All right. Game number 3. Virtua Fighter 5 Online. Xbox 360, October 30th, 2007, 36 critic reviews. What are you feeling, Mike, about VF5?
I feel like I remember this game, at least the PlayStation 3 like original version, being reviewed pretty well. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it would be any different for the 360 version. I remember there's a lot of like fighting game freaks that review this game. People liked this game. I think I'm going to even say a 90. I think people liked this.
Ooh, 90. Okay.
I'm trying to remember, but yeah, people were high on this from what I remember.
I will tell you, Virtua Fighter 5 is the Virtua Fighter. People always, they go back to VF1 or VF2 for being influential, but VF5 is the game.
Right.
That being said, fighting games never do that well.
I know. That's why it's so weird to me. I think this one did. I'm curious now.
I'm curious too. You know what? I'm gonna try to play safe. I'm gonna get a little risky here maybe, but I'm gonna put a big gap between us. I'm saying only 80.
Okay, you can make up some ground here.
Yeah, if I'm a lot closer, if it was a lot lower, I might make up that ground. All right, so I got 80. Mike's got 90. Actual score is 89.
I told you, man.
Dang. Very good, Mike.
Man.
I'd love to deduct 80 points from my score here. Is what
I would like you to, too.
I will take my 9 points.
Okay.
So I should be at 12?
I remember even thinking at the time, like, man, critics really like this. Okay.
That's wild,
it was a very good game. It was very complex. It's weird. That's like the last Virtua Fighter, right? There has not been a Virtua Fighter 6.
No, not an original one.
They made like
re-released
improved versions of Virtua Fighter 5, right?
They literally remade VF5 in the Dragon engine. RGG made it. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. All right. Wow. That was a big hit to me. All right, let's see what game number 4 is. Castlevania Judgment. What is this boy doing to us? Released on the Wii, November 18, 2008. 33 critic reviews. It's my pick.
Yep.
Shit. This is one of those games everyone thinks is bad, but is actually kind of dope. Because this is the one, I believe Aiding, like one of the old, one of the old school developers made. I believe this was the Aiding one, and so Aiding did a lot of beloved fighting games that people don't realize. They've worked on like Marvel vs. Capcom and stuff like that. I want to say though that people were down on this one overall. But how down on it? It's a Wii game. I think it required motion controls for some things. My gut's telling me rather low, but how low? I even feel like 70 something might be a little high. I'm almost feeling like 68. Like, I think this game might have been knocked. I don't know. I don't know how people would have reacted to this. You know what? Screw it. I'm so far removed from you at this point. I'm balls to the wall. 68. I'm locking it in.
Yeah, they did not like this game. I remember. I think it's definitely in the 60s.
Yeah.
I think even lower than that, actually. Maybe even lower than the 60s. People did not like it. They really dragged this game. I never played it. The arrangements were really good. Good soundtrack. So I'll say 65, maybe even lower. I'm not sure.
65. Is that your final answer?
65 is my final answer.
All right, 65 for Mike, 68 for me. Yeah, now you got me second guessing because I feel like people really dragged this one when it came out.
They acted
How
like it was
badly
an
did they drag
abomination.
it? 49.
Yeah, people really hated it. I was able to play a little safe there. It's like, well, it's got to be lower than him. But yeah, people did not like this game.
All right. Well,
I'm kind of curious to play it now, like, because it can't be that bad. Like, come on.
It's not, and that's the thing. People who actually try it out now, they're like, no, this game actually kind of rules. One of the things I've heard is that a lot of the casuals didn't like how aiding it was. So, like Marvel vs. Capcom 3, you get hit once, you're dead. This is a similar kind of game where like you will get messed up on a good combo.
I remember not liking the character designs. Like, this is like there was like that era where Simon Belmont was just an anime guy with like a red mop of hair for some reason.
Yeah.
Instead of like the beefcake that he is, right?
Yeah, it's really weird. It's a weird game. All right. Well, the last game, maybe I'll be able to make up this 16-point discrepancy on Bushido Blade. Ooh, this could go either way. PS1 game, September 30th, 1997. 13 correct reviews, Mike.
Yeah. No idea. Bushido Blade. We'll do a coward's answer and say an 82.
That is a coward's answer. That is so safe.
I know. Well, play safe to win.
It's safe, but also that's what I was gonna go with. There's no winning for me at this point, so the best I can hope for is to try and nail it exactly and just, have some bragging rights. Yeah.
See it.
I am good. Price is Right. I'm gonna say 81.
I like it.
Yeah, I think people
might be right.
Liked it a good amount. Maybe didn't love it super well. All right, no way I'm coming back from this, but I'm locking in 81. Mike's locking in 82. The actual score is 83. I was on the wrong side.
That's funny. The coward's answer was very close.
It was very close, which means that Mike wins with 16 points to my very high 33 there. What is gift?
Incredible. All right.
Oh, my God.
Good stuff there. I especially like the part where I won by a lot.
Good game, Mike. Good game.
We got plenty more fighting game content today because we're going to take a little break. We're going to set up for Shawn and I to deliberate on the 10 best fighting games of all time. None of that Mount Rushmore crap here.
Hell no. We're deciding some stuff.
We don't care how important a game is. We are only talking about quality and our preferences. So let's go. We'll be right back. Alrighty, so it shouldn't be too hard to set up. It's just you just gotta stream.
Yeah, I'll just switch the window
instead.
Let's see, change window, and then let me get the
drink while you do that.
Sure thing.
Oh, Shawn
Let's see how this shows up for you.
Yeah, you'll have to read
It looks perfect.
comments from
All right.
the community.
Probably just crap out the address bar. I'm sorry, Mike. I can't really hear you.
Yeah, sorry, I'm away from it. You'll have to like read the suggestions from the community because I probably.
Oh yeah, I got those pulled up too.
Okay, good. I'll be right back.
Cool. Oh man.
Dinosaurs is on Disney Plus, by the way. So if you wanna have nightmares with those puppets, quote unquote gorgeous puppets.
I mean, I feel like you're just speaking from a point of not liking puppets at all.
No, I'm okay with puppets, but this is like very 90s puppet animatronic shit that is like kinda fucking scary nowadays.
I've never been a huge puppet guy, so they've always looked a little.
They do look like complex and like they seem to have lots of moving parts, but no, bro.
Yeah, I mean they're impressive. They've always been impressive.
Yeah.
That's what I'll give them credit for. But I don't know. Even some of the Sesame Street stuff when I was a kid never really left a good impression on me. Some of them creep me out a little bit.
Oh my god,
There's
you get that shit out of there right now.
You can blame Beef Hammer for that one. That was a little fun.
Funny. That's funny.
Maybe just crop out the top there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
No, I don't want to see your porn tabs.
Wow.
Wow.
Took out my bookmarks bar and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be fine. I just scroll up a little bit when we get to the Discord thing. Bigger. I'm gonna use the space below.
Oh, okay. Well then,
So leave like some below. There you go. Yeah, for like honorable mentions and stuff. I scroll between them, but yeah.
Actually, I'd probably just put this below. Yeah, we're gonna have enough. Yeah, this will be
Look at you.
Yeah.
You're a pro.
I can
You're
OBS
a pro.
now.
You can. Oh, damn! He unlocked a new skill, OBS.
I did. I have been learning that the last.
Mike, I know we agreed no joke banning, but I really want to ban Wolf for saying that Brawl's the GOAT.
Look, I do too. If he keeps it going, he's been. We'll warn him. He's been warned.
That's your Zoomer warning, Wolf.
Right. Exactly. All right. Let's do a pause. We'll get back in here.
Okay. Before that, are you gonna do another after this list? Can you do like another pause, like a small like? We'll be right back after this message.
Yeah, we'll do another break before we do what we've been playing.
Just do a break, like, and then continue. Just give a small gap.
Yeah, we'll do a small break after this. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody. It is now time for Shawn and I to decide. Because we decide things around here.
On this podcast?
Yeah, that's right. The top 10 fighting games of all time. There's no method to this madness. We are just going to work together as friends to decide together. We've also asked our community for some help here, so they'll have their suggestions. Chat is popping off too with their suggestions. This is going to be a lot of fun. 10 should give us plenty of room to get a lot of people's favorites on it. Shawn, if I may suggest one off the top here, one I think is
let's go
very dear to both of us, one we both like a lot, one that is very acclaimed in general, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna. We'll see how far down it goes, but I'm gonna put it right at the top.
Yeah,
here.
that is just like that is still kind of the ideal classic fighting game to me, where it has just enough mechanics to be interesting, but not so much that it kind of gets bogged down in it. You have the beautiful character sprites, the beautiful background art,
animated.
Yeah, the fun soundtrack. It's just a fun game to play, and it's a really fun game to watch people play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, something as simple as the way the parry system works in that game does so much for the game. There's so much depth in just the footsies of everything there.
You're already throwing out some slang. I'm going to help people. So the parry systems game, if you tap forward instead of holding back to block, if you tap forward at the right moment, you can perfectly block an attack without taking even chip damage. You can kind of reverse it too. Footsies is kind of just like, It's when you're sort of spaced out. You're kind of in neutral. You're kind of just trying to get a little poke there. You're just kind of throwing some stuff out, seeing if you.
That's
connect.
right. That's
But
right.
they're all
Hey,
safe
you're
attacks.
learning.
I'm learning. I know my pluses and my minuses and all this stuff. There you go.
That's right. And with Third Strike, they with the parry system, the developers have mentioned before that the entire point of tapping forward to parry is, once you know it, you have to risk something because you can't block if you're pressing forward to parry. So it's either you get the parry or you get hit. It's beautiful. It's simplicity. Love it. And yeah, like everything you mentioned as well. The music is good.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's a fantastic game.
And that parry system gave us the most iconic fighting game moment ever.
37. That's right, baby. Let's
versus
go,
Igo.
Justin.
Right. with the Chun-Li versus Ken with just those perfect parries from a desperate situation. And then he does his own super to win it while everybody freaks out. It's incredible. Everybody in chat who's saying Second Impact is better is just insane. Although Second Impact and even the original Street Fighter 3 have very good stages also. I kind of wish you could just play all those stages in Third Strike because they are really nice stages.
Parries were just bad in every prior version of SF3. So, like, if you like the parries, you play Third Strike. Simple as that. That's why it's the one that's lived on.
Yeah, we still have amazing stages in 3. Did I ever tell you about subway shots?
No?
Yeah, when we played this game, and I think when me and my friends were playing it a lot, we had like the version that was on the original Xbox and that Street Fighter collection. But you do random stages, and if you got the subway level, everyone did a shot. Subway shots.
This is like nines. This is one of those like Minotti specials there.
It was good times. And it's like I love the roster because you do have like normal Street Fighter people and new characters that are very much Street Fighter spirit, like Makoto. And they just have weirdos. I know at first people thought the weirdos were a bit much. I think the weirdos are like Necro and 12 and Q. I think they're very
even Oro
now. Even Oro.
They had character to the game, definitely.
They did. Okay, Shawn, I'll let you sort of suggest one here now.
Well, I was gonna ask you, do we want to like just run through a series real quick, like while we're on it, or do we want to flip flop?
Well, because you think there might be other Street Fighter games you consider? Because to me, like Street Fighter 3 is kind of still the one thing, but 6 is honestly the next one for me now. I've been liking
That's the thing.
6 a lot.
We said this before the break, but this is what we think are the best ones, or maybe even a little of like the ones that we really love. And so I think we need to say it now. I don't think Street Fighter 2 makes the list.
No, and I think Jeff would yell if he was here. And I like Street Fighter 2, and obviously it is the most important fighting game.
Yo, TurboShawn comes from Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Right. Super Turbo was the first fighting game I ever played. So I have mad respect and love for Street Fighter 2. But here's the thing. The people who actually know, anyone who's getting mad right now is getting mad because they don't play Street Fighter 2. That's a busted ass game.
Street Fighter 2 is great. It's still nostalgic to play it, but if you told me I can take 10 fighting games to a desert island, Street Fighter, no.
Street Fighter 2, like Super Turbo specifically, would be like, or maybe the first one would be like Mount Rushmore of
if it was
games.
Mount Rushmore, absolutely Street Fighter 2.
But top 10? No.
It's not my favorite.
Definitely not. So then I think that, then stands to reason. 4, I don't think
4 was very important also.
Either.
It was really cool, but like, 6 is just a better 4 or a better 5 now, right?
Yeah, it's like there's a delineating mark there between 3 and 4 of like old and new era.
And I think you're more of an alpha guy than I am. I like the alphas fine, but I'm not thinking about them.
I like the alphas a lot, but I don't think any of those make the list either. Like on someone else's list, I wouldn't bat an eye if they said like Alpha 3 because I think it's like good enough, especially like Alpha 3 Max.
Yeah,
totally. Absolutely. But when it comes to best, the question becomes, is it too soon to put Street Fighter 6
I don't know. I mean, we basically have almost had like quote unquote a season of it because we have our first DLC character, our first kind of balance patch.
Well, that's the thing with fighting games. A season is a year, so we haven't had shit yet.
But it's
as of this recording, on the off chance someone's watching it later, as of this recording, Rashid just came out this week, and so that's where we are in Street Fighter 6. I almost want to say, Mike, that we just agree to leave it off for recency bias.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I feel.
You know what? It'll be
Maybe.
the first honorable mention for now, and then if we have a spot,
we'll see.
We'll see.
But I'm okay with Street Fighter Third Strike kind of just wrapping that whole series.
Same. All right. Well, then let me see. Let me look at my list here. All right. Since we're on the topic of Capcom, I think a Marvel game.
Let's say, is it Marvel, baby?
I think it's Marvel, baby.
Oh, that's so
the
Pringles?
question is, wait, your curly mustache. The question is, which one is the thing?
Yeah. No, I mean, I know you like 3 a lot.
I do.
Ultimate. It's a big deal for a lot of people. I like it fine. I am very much a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 boy. That, I mean, I had that for Dreamcast, and it was kind of my Dreamcast game. I was obsessed. It was
kind of mine too.
Yeah,
because Dreamcast. I play a lot of games on Dreamcast because me and my friends love the arcade experience. There's like not a great port on Dreamcast, but MVC2 is basically arcade perfect.
It's a fantastic port of just this goofy, beautiful mess of a game with these like character sprites ranging from gorgeous and new to Felicia's like old ass Darkstalker sprite. Yeah,
the Morrigan sprite that would be in every game until 2004.
Those wacky 3D backgrounds. But it's just, it was like especially the first fighting game I remember where it was just a silly amount of characters, and I loved that. And you had to unlock half of them, and I had so much fun just playing through the story mode, the arcade mode over and over, and doing those fights and just unlocking more characters, seeing which weirdos were in there. And, I never had to play this game too seriously because I just played it with my friends and my brothers a lot. And because we played it together, we were about a similar skill level. Even if my one friend did have a freaking Sentinel on his team, and that drove me absolutely crazy. God, I just, this is still just such a game I associate so heavily with being like a 13-year-old just constantly. And it felt so good on that Dreamcast pad.
So going into this episode, I was thinking to myself, like, which Marvel game? I think the realization I came to, probably only one is making the list. Yeah. I don't see both making a list between MVC2 and UMVC3. And I think even though I prefer 3, I also love 2. And so if you have love for 2, but none for, or not
I
really
have some for
any
3.
For 3.
The problem with 3 is 3 is very ugly. Like, those graphics have aged pretty bad.
Okay, we've had a good run. I gotta get going.
Not that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is some beautiful game. Does Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 even have a good soundtrack, actually? Does it? What's wrong? What did I say to upset you?
Everything? What are you talking about?
What? You think Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a pretty game?
I mean, in terms of raw assets, no, but like the art direction is still phenomenal. Okay. Yeah,
it feels phenomenal.
It looks like a comic book.
Yeah, phenomenal. Might be pushing it a little bit.
All right, you know what? Me. This is where me and Michael be at each other's throats if we talk any. More
it looks better than Infinite. I'll give it that.
Well, yeah, I want. Mike, you're lucky I didn't bring this up because MVCI is my favorite Marvel, but...
Yeah, I know. You freak.
It plays well, but yes, it's butt ugly.
Okay, while we're on this, though, we should probably talk about Capcom versus SNK 2, which in terms of like the Versus series, and this is like almost even not really the Versus series in the way that there's a lineage.
It's considered
right,
Versus,
but it's just so different from like... Because like, X-Men Children of the Atom... to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, there's like a pretty straight lineage here.
Yeah.
Capcom vs. SNK is almost its own thing in terms of what it's combining, and it's fantastic. It's so much fun. It does a really good job of not just like combining those rosters, but combining those mechanics. Just a gorgeous 2D game. Really, again, very good backgrounds. I think it's a better looking game than Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is. I think it's generally
definitely.
more cohesive. Like there's something fun about the hot mess of Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was mostly just an asset dump, and they did create a bunch of original stuff for CVS 2. So, yeah, they modernized a lot of stuff for it.
Right, yeah, Maki, right? Like, come on, let's go. It's great.
Yeah, Maki, who was originally supposed to be Lin Kurosawa from AVP, the Alien vs. Predator arcade game.
Which also would have been cool. But, yeah.
That's why Maki has the Tonfas. They were originally supposed to be blades.
We got True Love Making.
It has a good song. Tuna with bacon. Gotta love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Are you saying you want in the top 10?
I think I do. I think I like this more than actually any King of Fighter, even personally, or
I would
any,
agree.
Yeah, any Fatal Fury.
I'm a Capcom shill, so
I'm a Capcom shill. I've been appreciating SNK more. There's maybe one other SNK game I consider after this.
Where are you feeling on here? Like
I want to be as high up as
area.
those. I think maybe a 7 is okay for now, and we'll see. Maybe even lower, but I do like it a lot, and it's one I've come to a little bit later. I've been really enjoying it.
I'm actually not a big CVS guy, but I played it some. I played at Galloping Ghost every time I'm there. I appreciate it a lot. So you know what? I'll appreciate your decision to put it on there.
That's fine.
100%.
I appreciate you appreciating me.
All right, Mike. I want to keep the Capcom train rolling with one more.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm putting it in the top 10.
Okay, well.
If you want to put it low, that's fine. I didn't know
you felt this strongly about Power Stone too, but okay.
No, Power Stone is legit.
Oh, Power Stone rules.
Rival School? No. There can only be one.
Oh, right, Darkstalkers. Okay.
Let's go!
We're going Vampire Survivors here? Which one? Vampire Savior,
Survivors.
Saviors. I do
Vampire Savior, a.k.a. Darkstalkers 3 on U.S. consoles. Yes, it is so good. It is the game. A lot of people don't realize this. Is basically the game that invented the anime fighter. Like, it usually gets accredited to Guilty Gear. Mm-hmm. Vampire Savior, specifically like the Darkstalkers series, did that in like the early-ish 90s. It's still a beautiful game, so well animated. Basically, the level of animation you would get from something like, I guess, like Third Strike was happening in like I can't remember exactly when the first one came out. I think it was like 91. Like,
wait,
oh my god,
the first Darkstalkers was 91.
Yeah, it was like
so
91.
Early. I'm gonna look that up now.
Like
that's
that.
insane.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was very early. Like chat, keep me honest on there. But yeah, like Darkstalkers was
94. That makes a little bit more sense.
94. Oh, 94. Okay, so was it 94, 96, 97 or
94,
something like
95,
that?
97. Yeah.
95, 97. Okay. So yeah. But yeah, it was like, it was still in the first half of the 90s when they were
Street Fighter 2 was 1992. I thought 1991 seemed
That's
real.
right. Okay.
You have to
okay,
forgive him, Nick.
Right.
He's a child. Anything from the mid to early 90s is practically the same time.
That's why I remember VSAT was 97, but I don't remember when the first game.
It is weird, like, because Final Fight is 89, and that's a game that looks way ahead of like 89, right? So sometimes I get surprised.
Yeah, that's why I struggle to keep some of these early games, like the dates figured out. Yeah. Okay, but anyways, I'm nominating Vampire Savior because it is the best version of that game. Weirdly enough, the Darkstalkers games, they like each one like is missing a little bit from the others, and so Vampire Savior is the most well-rounded one. And as so many characters that have become iconic in like the Marvel vs. Capcom series, like the stages are all gorgeous. Like basically everything we've been talking about for other games that would come, 5 to even 10 years later, came in this one first. So my question to you here, Mike, is where are you willing to put it for now in this top?
Yeah, 10? It's because I have been able to play a good amount of Vampire Savior, thanks to the recent collection we had on Switch. There was a version of this for PSP of Night. There was a Night Stalker game there I actually played a good amount of back in the day that I liked a lot. I don't know what that was based on exactly, but that was fun. I have no problem with this being on the list. I would probably rather play Capcom versus SNK 2 than that, but I don't feel so strongly about it. If you want to put it a little bit above that, maybe not more than one spot above it, though.
Hang on here. I'm pulling up. I've talked about this before on the show. This is a good opportunity to actually bring it up. This is the other wall scroll that I have hanging on my wall in my home, because I have that, the Felicia one from the comics right behind me there. But this is the cover from that game that you just mentioned. Darkstalkers Chronicle: The Chaos Tower for PSP. I have a giant 2-foot by like 4-foot wall scroll of this hanging on my wall over there, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I love this art. It's from my favorite artist. I think I wouldn't even put it that high. I think I would put it like 9 or 10. I think
Capcom
9
vs.
for
SNK
now.
might be also going lower. We'll see.
All right. You know what? Let's see. How do you do this? Nope. We just invented Capcom versus SNK3.
I always just copy and paste this crap because I don't know how to like.
There we go. Yeah, you got to drag on the boards. I got it.
And then I just delete. There you go. I like it.
I'm putting it in at 9. Perfect.
All right, enough of Capcom for a hot second here.
Yes.
Because I gotta bring up Smash now. I was a pretty big Smash Brothers Melee guy. Those are the only actual tournaments I ever went to. Nothing big, but I did go to a couple Smash Brothers Melee tournaments. It didn't get immediately knocked out in at least one of them. But gosh, this was the game that me, my brothers, my friends would play almost every day for a while. We all kind of picked our mains and just had an endless amount of fun playing each other. Something about just the way this game feels. A giant improvement over the original Nintendo 64 version, which is still like a fun, good start. This, just in terms of content, there were a lot more characters. Really surprisingly decent single-player offerings. Even just the challenge mode was a lot of fun. I loved how kind of almost seriously the game took itself. Like, you had these really dramatic orchestral arrangements of songs that were sort of
they were really
unheard of for Nintendo properties at the time, right? Really cool stages. Yeah, this was like this was my everything for a good while. Super Smash Bros. Melee is just one of my favorite games ever, let alone fighting game. And I'll kind of say at the same time, like Ultimate is obviously also just really, really good, and in many ways a more refined game. Like those are the two Smash Bros. Games worth talking about.
Mike, I think we might be able to agree on this one. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate might be the best fighting game package of all time.
In terms of what you get. I wish. Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, especially if you get all the DLC, just in terms of how many characters
like
you get,
other games do specific things better, like, the story mode and everything like that. But in terms of, like, if you just want stuff to do, Smash Ultimate is still just on top.
That's my thing. Are we going to really put two Smash games on here?
I could see it for now.
Yeah.
I don't think both stay, but I think we could put both on for now.
Yeah, because even like Ultimate's probably at this point a better game. If somebody told me which one are you gonna play, it's Ultimate. But God, Melee is special to me.
I think, I'm the same way. Melee is special to me, but Ultimate is the better one. And all right, you know what? The chat is losing their minds over this, so I'm gonna do it. I promised people I would. I'm gonna give the rant, Mike. If you think Smash isn't a fighting game, you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah,
because what else is it? You're gonna say it's a party game? Like what? We're rolling dice and moving board game pieces? No, it's a fighting game.
Are we even still having that conversation? I thought we were all like so past that. Finally,
people who think they're cool on the internet like to have this. Yeah, but here's the thing. Think about it this way. I'm just gonna put all y'all on the ground with this one. If you think Smash isn't a fighting game, then you must think Mario Kart isn't a racing game. Because what? You got items, you got platforming, you got crazy traversal. What? Suddenly, like Mario Kart isn't a racing game? Like, no. Like, it's a racing game. Smash is a fighting game. It's just Nintendo's spin on it. Simple as that. Easy.
All right. So
anyways.
I would put, like, Melee higher and Ultimate lower, at least, maybe right now. I don't know. Again, I like Melee so much. Unless you disagree.
Give me numbers. I'm feeling like 5, 6, 7 spots.
All right, give Melee 5 and Ultimate 7 for now. How about that?
Ooh.
You don't like Melee higher?
How about? I don't like Melee higher.
That might be my nostalgia speaking. So if you don't like that,
I think if we're looking at this list as the best games, I think Ultimate goes higher than Melee, but by like 1 spot.
It's see. You do it for now.
Against the package. It's the package, baby.
I know, but Melee is Melee. And I know it's almost obnoxious at this point that people still cling on to Melee in a way, but
I mean, it's incredible. It's influential. It's still a fun game to play. I don't blame them on the slice.
It's going to be at a point where I'm like going to feel bad having 2 entries for any franchise because there are still whole series I would probably want to see represented. But here, you go ahead now. What's something you're thinking about?
All right, I'm thinking we should rapid fire a few of these just to make some more headway here. Let's just talk about the 3D fighters on the whole. So Tekken, Soul Calibur, and Virtua Fighter as the primary ones.
Yeah, I mean, Virtua Fighter was it's definitely maybe more of a Mount Rushmore one for me. I liked Virtua Fighter 2 back in the day on my Saturn. Virtua Fighter 5 was obviously this kind of big deal. For me, the 3D fighting game is Soul Calibur 2.
I think Nick's gonna have a stroke if we don't at least mention Virtua Fighter 4 Evo, which is also very good.
It's very good also, but I generally like Soul Calibur more. I think it's gotten a little weeby-ish in the newer installments, but
I would agree. Yeah, they lost their way like with 5, especially.
2 is still kind of the perfect 3D fighting game for me, though. I think it's so much fun. It's got a great roster. I love how each version has a little extra character in it, and obviously playing as Link in the GameCube version is super fun. Really cool single-player mode, actually, with lots of stupid little lore dumps that I'm all about. The presentation's just great. I mean, the original Soul Calibur on Dreamcast, also very good, but 2 is just that a bit better. That is still the fighting game, the 3D fighting game for me. And, I like how it is a game you can actually give to a friend, and they can button mash and do okay. They will do things, but obviously, if you really know what you're doing, you can do some fun combos, and you can link some stuff together and get kind of nuts.
I think we should at least mention the Tekken games. And I think for pure representation, I think currently at the bottom is where I would put it, simply because me and Mike don't have love for it. So
right, so it's like never.
If on your list you want it higher, that's on you. But I think Tekken 3, you can't overstate how influential that was. That was literally something that people don't think about this anymore in terms of a lot of fighting games. People were buying PS1s to play Tekken 3 at home.
Right.
It was very big when it came out, and it still holds up very well.
And even though I'm not a Tekken guy, whenever I have played a bit of Tekken 3 recently, I actually played it on the PlayStation Classic, and I get it. I absolutely do get it. And I want to play more Tekken. I feel bad not being as into that series as I am. But, right now, I can almost... I care about Dead or Alive as much as I care about Tekken. I won't do that to anybody. I'm not going to put Dead or Alive 3 on there. Although it's, actually a very good game. But we won't do that. But Tekken 3, maybe it'll squeak in. We'll see. We're running out of room.
Yeah, and I do want to address this because you just played it on stream. Tekken 7, very good game, flawed game, I would say. And I think even the people who play it competitively and everything will tell you that as well. It's a little off in some ways. Still a very good game overall, but it's more about the content in Tekken 7. As Bandai Namco, they make Smash as well. They know how to put content on there. But I think Tekken 3 is... I don't know, there's something about that. And I like classic fighting games, and Tekken 3 still feels interesting in a way that 7 kind of doesn't.
All right, there's a couple other things that I think we might have to get here. And honestly, one that I'm not really all that huge on, but I think you're a fan of, we should talk about, is Killer Instinct.
Ultra!
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mike.
I know you like your Killer Instinct. Did I break you? There, you're just running.
Point it in.
There it is.
At number 3.
Wait a second, Shawn.
At number
Shawn,
3.
It can't be at number 3. I like it fine. We can't. It's both of our lists, Shawn.
Bring it, bitch. Bring it. Let's go. I will fight for this. I will fight for this.
What is with you and Jeff? It's not good enough it's on the list. You have to have it as high as possible, too. Look, it's very good.
I'm fucking with you. I would put it at least below Ultimate is where I would put it.
I know. That's fine. It's fine. I mean, I get it. People do like it a lot.
I put it here.
I hope they make a new one. It's a fun game.
I hope they do too. Yeah. Okay. So for anyone who doesn't know, if you're out of the loop with Killer Instinct, it's a smaller game because it was originally intended as an Xbox Live Arcade game.
Right.
It doesn't have a ton of content, but they absolutely put some in over time. This game is still, in my opinion, the most fun fighting game to play because it does something that basically no other fighting game does in this way. You are always playing the game. You are never sitting there just taking a combo to the face. You can combo break. You can counter break. There's so many things you can do on the defense. You're always playing. It's always hype. Not even mentioning, the musical ultra combos of this game in particular. Killer Instinct 2013 is what we're talking about, to be clear. The musical ultras, the putting in random ass characters is fun too. Like Rash, the Battletoads in here, so good. And if anyone disagrees, I'm just gonna say this. It's because you probably haven't tried it. You probably
and
haven't
I'm not
it.
I haven't played a ton of it, but this isn't some weird opinion of Shawn's. Inside the fighting game community of which I have some exposure to, not as much as Shawn. This is not a bizarre opinion. The people who no, and they speak very highly of this Killer Instinct. Let's talk about a couple of series that aren't on here yet. Maybe actually a developer, because we don't have anything from Arc Systems right now.
That's good, because they were the next ones on this list of games that I have. Where Guilty Gear, Blaze Blue, and Persona would be the big ones. It's just a question of which ones of each would, be on there.
Yeah, that is kind of, and there's a part of me, it's I like all of them, some of them a good amount. I don't know if any of them are my top 10. If one would be, it would be Persona 4, Ultimix or whatever. Partially because,
Ultimax,
it is a lot of those games, but with characters that I like more, right? Even though there's something kind of bizarre about just how, sort of not graphic novel-y, what do we call that when the video game is mostly a story with pictures and words.
No, graphic novel, basically.
Is that it? Why did I think there's no word? Yeah, it's very graphic novel-y for a fighting game. There's a lot of text and stuff, but it's still fun. I don't know.
Or visual novel,
Visual novel is the word I was looking for. Thank you, chat was there to help me through my stroke.
I was that sounds right.
Yeah, that sounds right. I was I don't think graphic novel is right, but you're saying it is. I like Blaze Blue. I like Guilty Gear. Dragon Ball Fighters was good.
That's the thing. We didn't mention that. And that's the thing. Dragon Ball Fighters, I think at least deserves consideration.
Yeah, you think that's the one?
I think if we're going to represent Arc System Works, that would be the one. And I say this as someone who does like Guilty Gear a lot. I played Exert and I played Strive. Dragon Ball Fighters, man, that game is gorgeous. That game looks better than the show in a lot of ways.
It looks really cool. It's a really slick fighting game, too.
It gave us the Marvel vs. Capcom people wanted when Marvel Infinite let everyone down.
Right. That's exactly right.
I'm...
Well, before we even do that, because there's a couple of things. Yeah. What about Mortal Kombat? We haven't talked about Mortal Kombat at all.
That's the thing. Yeah, we need to talk about MK. Here, let me. I think we agreed that if we put in Arxis, we put on DBLC.
It'll be Dragon Ball Fighters. Yeah. I'm a boomer, so when I think Mortal Kombat, my favorite is Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. That's kind of the one to me because that's sort of the, no pun intended, ultimate version of that original idea of Mortal Kombat. Yeah. Trilogy is the most content. But
I was gonna say it's either UMK3 or it's Trilogy. And I think UMK3 has better focus because it isn't trying to do
Plus, it has Robot Smoke, and he blows up the planet. A lot of the new Mortal Kombats are also very good.
A lot. The MK heads love 9. People love 9.
And 9 was a big deal. It was really kind of brought that back. Again, it has Smoke. So, that's
here's the thing.
Kind of like
if we were to consider a modern one, I wouldn't say 9.
You're a 10 guy?
MKX is a very good fighting game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Nick, you did tell me about Smoke. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, look, I like them all. 11, just the story mode didn't get me as much.
No.
I think 11 the best guest characters, though. I think I really like that.
There you go. You got that side of things. Now I got the other side. It didn't feel great to play competitively.
Yeah, I hear that from the fighting game community. It felt off. I know
I played a Combo Breaker the year it came out, and I dropped it very shortly afterwards because I was just this doesn't feel good. Yeah. I don't like the way they went too far with the variations being tied to clothing and stuff. It was very weird. So if we want just one on there, it is UMK3, 9, or X.
Yeah, and I'll vote UMK. Gosh, that's hard to say. Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. I'll just do that. That would be my pick if I had to pick one from.
Yeah, as much as I love X, I think it would be 9 if we picked a modern one, just because I trust the MK heads and I like the game a lot as well. So I guess it is just do we think 3 or 9 is the better representative to put up here? I would argue 9 because if we're talking like still feels good to play, the older MKs do feel kind of jank.
A little, I guess. I like that jank a bit. Again, there's definitely a nostalgia factor with those old ones for me. You know, we have a lot of modern fighters on this list, right?
We have a lot of old fighters on this list. We have more old fighters than new fighters.
This would be the oldest, I think, actually. Actually, maybe Vampire. No, it'd be older than Vampire Savior. Maybe the same.
UMK, yeah, it's around that time. If well, no, because Vampire Savior is 90. We're doing that one specifically. That's 97. Right. So UMK3 might actually be the oldest.
Actually. Well,
I mean, look at the list, Mike. We have like a 2000, a 2000, like 2001, a 2001-ish, a 2001-ish.
I still want Mortal Kombat 3 for now. And since you got your Killer Instinct pick, maybe we can defer to me slightly.
Compromise
on
a little
this
there.
One.
Okay, I'd be willing to do that.
But again, we don't even know what's going to make it. We have to figure it out. Might be.
Where are you thinking?
Well, I don't get yelled at. Maybe 10, actually. Sorry, Tekken 3.
Yeah. It's just not.
We're just not Tekken bros, really.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't think Tekken. I don't know. Maybe Tekken makes it so. Maybe you could put it at 9 and Tekken could be 10. I don't know. Or you could put Tekken at 9. We'll figure out the order.
I think we put UMK 3 at 9 because I think. Again, sorry to the Tekken people. Tekken 3 might be the least likely to be on this list, on our list, to be clear.
We'll see. Okay, let's throw out just a few more before maybe we'll look at the community. Because just before today, I always heard about how much people like Garu, Mark of the Wolves, Garu, Werewolves of London. Just playing it, like, I get it. People call it SNK's Third Strike, and I immediately picked up on that vibe.
Yeah, it's not the gameplay, but like the vibe. The vibe is
exactly.
Yeah.
So I was enjoying it a lot. I don't know if I played it enough to be able to say it's better than Tekken 3 or something like that. It is really good though, and we don't have a pure SNK game on the list.
We do not. No,
we do not. I think, and we have Capcom vs SNK too. Part of me is like, if we did have one, maybe it would be that. I mean, you know what? Maybe I would put it up with Tekken 3. Actually, I don't know.
Here's my thing, Mike. I don't know enough about SNK games to put one on this list at all.
Yeah, you're not an SNK guy.
So I'm thinking, as sad as it is, maybe just no SNK. Because like KOF 13 is probably the one I would put on there if I did. And again, I just haven't played it enough to speak on it. I've just never been SNK guy.
I was playing a bit of King of Fighters 98 not too long ago, and it was fun. Nothing I would
98, 2000, 02 are like usually the ones people go to. Yeah.
Right. I know the ones people do generally say are the best. Put Garu on that like consideration list just for my benefit.
Sure.
I'd like to see it on there. Look, Jeff Grubb just said he made art. What is this that Jeff Grubb has made?
I'm not sure I want to bring it up and immediately have it.
Yeah, it didn't work anyways, so that's okay. It's the link. Oh,
no, it works. Glorbo, 1994.
What the hell? I know the Glorbo meme. Incredible. All right, everybody, buy your Glorbo hoodies. Thanks, Jeff. I hope you're having a nice vacation. You're probably still driving right now. I don't even know what you're doing.
Here you go, everybody. Get your Glorbo hoodie on the Game Mess store. Link in the description below.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, what's your favorite fighting game? I wanted to say Street Fighter 2 so I can call him a boomer.
Jeff doesn't know what fighting game is.
No, he doesn't. He's old. He'll get confused and tired.
Let me see.
Turtle Champions. Good answer.
Get the hell out of here.
Good answer.
Yeah, outside of like other honorable mentions, like
Power Stone 2 is actually pretty
Power
dope.
Stone.
Power Stone 2
I
rules.
would. Yeah, I love Power Stone. You know what? Fuck it, I'm putting it at the bottom.
Yeah, put it there for now.
It's good enough that at least deserves the honor.
No, the biggest problem with Power Stone 2 is that it's too freaking hard to play now. It's like why can't we just have that on something? Give me a break. Port Power Stone 2 over to Switch for the love of God. What's up with Skullgirls? I never really played that much. Are you a Skullgirls fan? care about it at all.
Skullgirls is interesting because it basically is like a Marvel vs. Capcom game. Is that style of game? If you never played it, you might not know that. It's interesting. It's very interesting. But that's also one of those where, I haven't played enough to really, get into it in any meaningful way. I think, though, if we're getting to that area, there are some that the community picked out that I think are at least worth mentioning. So let's hop on over here. Let me see. Do you need to reformat this a little, maybe?
Oh, stretch it, baby. Dun, dun, dun.
You just move the window over? Because I think that might work.
Yeah, I'll figure it out in a second. Here we go.
Yeah, as long as we get the beginning of everyone's submissions.
I'll just do this. Hey, there you go.
I'm well behind. So, hey, perfect. Okay. So let's start at the top. Shoji Kodo says Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Benji also says Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Hey, we got good news for you guys.
Yeah, right.
Mr. Bowler says Soul Calibur 2 is probably the one I played the most outside of Smash. Well, we got good news for you there, too.
Such a good game.
Jet Binks brings down the entire conversation by saying TGA 2019 fighting game nominee Jump Force, to which I say no. No, sir.
No, thank you.
I will say, shout out to Jump Force for getting me a floor higher on Trivia Tower that one time.
Oh, there you go.
That's
I remember that now, yeah.
Giggy, my guy, coming in with the Vampire Savior, the Lord of Vampire, which, yes, and he has this lovely little gif of Felicia just landing on Rico's head. I love it. XX Boppenheimer XX says, Sifu. Keely allowed it. So can I.
I get it. Yeah, that's funny.
Who? Yeah, okay. I'm seeing who's winning. Ray says Street Fighter Alpha 3. Yeah, I respect it. But it's probably not making.
I like Street Fighter Alpha 3. I would just so much more rather play Third Strike, and I know they're not necessarily that similar. They're similar enough. I like Third Strike's vibe more.
Yeah, they're in that vein of faster paced Street Fighters for sure. Squirt Russell. Thanks, Casual. Nominates Tekken Tag Tournament 2 Wii U Edition, the only game where you dress up the Mishimas as Mario and Luigi, Mike. It's incredible.
I have to admit, I was very salty about Tekken Tag Tournament 1 for a long time because I was very upset about the PlayStation 2 when it was launching. Because even before it launched, it was clear that it was going to kill the game or the Dreamcast. I was very upset about that. And Tekken Tag Tournament 1 just looked graphically so much worse than Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. It bothered me so much. I would get so mad. I was a guy screaming about the Jaggies, and everyone's like, this game's fun. I don't care. It's not fair.
The Dreamcast deserves so much better, man. I still love mine. Rock Party says, not big on fighting games, but Street Fighter 6 is probably my favorite. Hey, there you go. Some rep for Street Fighter 6 there.
Very good.
It is. It's breaking through in the mainstream, so I gotta respect it. Jay, who I recognize that profile picture, is Beef Hammer, says, God damn it, Shawn. I have to throw away my joke because no one wrote Killer Instinct 2013. Game Mess would lose the cred we built up with the FGC if we forget it. That's right. He originally said... He doesn't have it here. He originally said Persona 4 Arena, and then changed it to the joke answer of Melty Blood, actress again, current code, before settling on Killer Instinct. Always delightful beef. Dr. Ryan, who is still wondering, why did they buy that zoo?
That killed me. Why did they buy that
Street
zoo?
Fighter. I watched that game today. I was in tears. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is the best fighting game ever made. I think me and Mike would agree. There's certainly an argument to be made there. Soul Calibur 4 is coming in from Alex, who points out that as Darth Vader and Yoda, which...
And Starkiller.
And Starkiller, the apprentice, the most important character.
4 is definitely the best of all the post-Soul Calibur 2 entries.
Yes. Oh, yeah, by far. Even 6, which plays very well. 4, I think...
was also very salty that Soul Calibur 3 was a PlayStation 2 exclusive. Boy, did that piss me off.
That was a weird choice. That was a very weird choice.
I was very upset about that.
But yeah, I think we definitely like 2 more. It's just too classic. Clink says if you're going to include an anime fighter, it might as well be the best one. Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, which
Man.
You know what, Mike? You know, I'm gonna at least honorable mention P4 Arena.
Like
I think
it's getting a surprising amount of love from chat. Like maybe I don't know.
It's good.
They're persuading me. They're persuading me to want to consider that more so than Dragon Ball Fighters. We'll see.
We'll see.
GA.
Let's see. Where were we? Crandus Basketball says UMK3 is probably the best Mortal Kombat that makes the list, right? Well, you were good. Lenny Cool Dick Denver says, I'm a Garo, Mark of the Wolves pervert, and I'm tired of hiding. Don't worry.
I get it, man. That game, I was really enjoying just playing a bit of that game. It had a lot of style. It was a lot of fun. I'm just like immediately curious to kind of learn some combos and learn some of these mechanics I wasn't quite grokking yet.
Fun game, definitely.
Fun.
Jackie G says, I'm not really a fighting game guy, but I spent so much time on Tekken 5 back in the day. Haven't returned to it in a long time, but I'm certain I would still love it now.
What else are considered the good Tekkens besides
It's 5.
5?
Like, yeah, if people are saying what is the best Tekken, they will say 3 or 5.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. I think 3 is just, like, if we're talking about Tekken, we would say 3 because it's the more universal one amongst both the casual and the hardcore.
Was there something impressive about it being that good on the original PlayStation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Big Tony says Bloody Roar 2, which, hey, I respect it.
I have a Bloody Roar game for GameCube. It's the one with a subtitle. I remember there's a person who turns into a bunny. It's an interesting game.
Hot. Sleepy Dad says Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which hit at the perfect time for them in college. That came out around the same time for me, so I definitely respect that choice. As we discussed at the top, UMVC 3 or Marvel 2 are both like very eligible to be on this list. Punish Rose says Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, which, hey, you know, very good game in its own right. If you're gonna look at
the RWBY characters or whatever, right?
The Ruby characters, yes,
yeah.
Yes, it is, and I love it for it because I love Ruby.
Can't escape crossing fate. That's game.
Right. Tool 1, or whatever the fuck they say. No one can keep track of all this. Fudsack says Power Stone, which we just mentioned a little bit ago.
God,
Dugan says
there's not a new one.
Dugan says Cowards and puts in Star Wars Masters of Terrascasi.
There you go.
Jeff Grubb's actual favorite fighting game.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, with Thok and Hor.
That's it. Thok, Hor.
Yeah.
Mara Jade, of course.
Yeah.
All the stars are here.
Everybody's here. Chaos Buckaroo says Smash Ultimate joins the debate, and certainly did earlier on. Evo Janis says WWF No Mercy, which quite the type of game we're looking for.
Yeah, that's so weird with fighting games. Like, I do consider that its own genre for some reason, even though obviously very close to fighting games, fighting game adjacent. Like
wrestling are just sort of their own thing.
It is sort of its own thing, but even then, like, I wouldn't actually take any fighting game over all of these.
Screaming Man puts one in here. I actually did see this one earlier. It's a little longer, but I'm going to read this quickly. Yeah. He says, it may not make our top 10, but I want to give a shout out to Them's Fightin' Herds, the ultimate don't judge a book by its cover game. I bought TFH out of morbid curiosity in 2020 and shockingly loved it. Amazing netcode, a satisfying fighting system, a fighting game RPG hybrid story mode, and dynamic music where it changes based on which character is winning are some of the many reasons why this is my personal favorite fighting game. So, Mike, if you're not aware, this is the game that originally started as like a My Little Pony fan fighting game. And then they got the cease and desist from Hasbro, so they had to turn it into its own thing. It's a good story because they got the artist from MLP to do original designs for them and everything. It's actually really cool. And Scream Man is right. I see Christian backing us up over in the chat there.
Are you a brownie?
Not even remotely, and that's why I checked this out. Morbid curiosity after seeing the documentary on how it was made, because my favorite FGC channel did a documentary on it. I was like, really, the pony game?
People seem to like it, I guess.
And then I played it, and it is very fun. Mike, it's actually a very fun game.
I want to say real quick, because some people in chat are upset that wrestling games don't count as Smash Bros. Count. All right, wrestling games officially count. And we are not including any. There you go.
Yeah, does that make you feel better?
Is that better? We did it. Shout out to SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, though. That game rules.
Sephiroth himself is nominating the game he's in, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
That's fair.
Sasquatch Crossing says Mortal Kombat 2 because I'm old and used to play it in the arcade.
Man, I mean, that was such a big deal. Just like, I remember going to an arcade and seeing Mortal Kombat 2 for the first time. It was like, I don't know why that felt important. Like you couldn't. Well,
especially after all the hearings and everything surrounding Mortal Kombat. Like, you go and see MK2. Like, what is this all about? And it's a step up from one. Like, back then the digitized graphics looked incredible on a CRT.
Reptile was playable. I'm like, there's more than one girl. Is that even allowed? Oh, they got rid of the other girl. Never mind. It was good stuff.
Okay. Miss Fio, who frequently gives me crap for my choice of video game waifus, coming out with a banger here, nominating Dead or Alive 1. And she leads with, "It's not what you think." I swear to guys, it's not what it looks like. To paraphrase a little bit here, she says that it feels like a Virtua Fighter Lite in terms of difficulty, despite being more complex in some ways.
It is the Virtua Fighter engine, right?
I don't know how this works because it's different companies. She says the same arcade board, so I assume there's some. Yeah, I assume that's legit. I don't know too much about this to actually say for sure. And goes on to say, like the series got kind of weird, but the first game was
the first game not that pervy? Is that what you're insinuating?
It's like,
pervy light.
Oh, we got jiggle physics.
Right. It's not just straight up showing you a character's ass in their ending like Dead or Alive 3.
Mike, we get to the point where I can't remember this one. I just watched Max's playthrough of it. Dead or Alive 6, I think, just straight up has the youngest characters getting attacked by a tentacle monster in the story mode. It's just like they knew and they just went for it, and we're not gonna respect.
When you say youngest character, you mean youngest but legally
the character who is exactly 18 and not a day older.
Well,
that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways,
hell yeah!
Ezipsis says, "Can't believe it hasn't been said already, but Fighters Mega Mix, which features, of course, the Hornet, the Daytona car."
Fighters Mega Mix rules. Again, another kind of beautiful mess of a game, but all these Virtual Fighter characters, all these Fighting Vipers characters, Sonic the Fighters, and then just weird things like the Hornet from Daytona, like the Sega AM2 Palm Tree logo. God. This was a really fun game. I had a lot of good times with this. It's maybe almost a little too silly to make the list, but it is such a fun game. I will always stand Fighters Mega Mix. Absolutely.
It's very dumb, but it's like
it's so dumb, but in the best way. It knows it's dumb too. It knows what it is, and it's great.
Dan Parks says, Tekken 7 is the reason we had the moniker Good Ass Tekken. This might be the last year at EVO for it, so it'll be a culmination of everyone's hard work over the past 8 years. In terms of quality, Tekken 7 has it all, which shout outs to Tekken 7, I think. It is a good, well-rounded package. It's just the fighting, I think, leaves something to be desired.
What's the early scuttlebutt on Tekken 8? Are people seem happy? Are people skeptical? What are people thinking?
People are mixed. People are mixed. I think they like it overall, but there's some concerns about more meta stuff, like the netcode isn't a huge step up. It seems like it's just an improved version of Tekken 7's, which was not good, so... Okay. We'll see how that turns out. But I think in general, people are excited about Tekken 8 generally speaking. Carl Menger says, Ehrgeiz, I need a Diablo-like in my fighting game. Oh, God bless the ring.
That's what it is, yeah. This is the one with the Final Fantasy 7 characters.
It is, yes, very prominently featured. Octo says, I suck at fighting games, so cater to the casuals, I nominate Nidhogg or Samurai Gun.
Nidhogg's the name of the bad guy from Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward.
Correctly acclaimed expansion, I hear.
It is.
I've never heard of Samurai Gun, but I know Nidhogg is the fencing game. I don't know much about
Samurai Gun either.
Yeah. Bugadillo says Saturday Night Slam Masters, that Capcom wrestling game.
Yeah,
from apparently I'm bad at picking out dates from the 90s, so I want to say the mid 90s.
Yes, mid 90s, probably not early 90s.
Because it was a Super Nintendo game, so it had to be after 91.
I never really played much of this, which is weird since I like wrestling and I like Capcom. I just heard about the sequel, which I didn't even know existed because it was only in arcades, and it was just much more of a straight-up 2D fighting game with less kind of wrestling stuff, although it's still there.
Tokyo Game Life says Bariki 1?
Never
heard of it?
Don't know that.
Apparently, you attack with the joystick.
Bariki
and
1
move
these
with
nuts?
the buttons.
Is that what we're doing? Is this a joke?
Got him. Vision 49 says, I'm only half joking when I say the dual mode on the Xbox and PS2 ports of the Revenge of the Sith game. I do remember that, having like a versus fighting game thing. Not making a list, but shout outs.
Sure.
Hosp says that they're just going to throw out arms and run away.
Yeah, it's good try.
Good try. JD Camp says, Fight Night Champions, the slow-mo KO shots with the sweat flying off, never gets old.
It's weird how, again, it's like boxing games aren't the first thing that come to my mind. The best actual, like, boxing game that's not Punch-Out, that's definitely not a fighting game. But, like, remember, Fight Night was fun. Not Fight Night, Ready to Rumble. Ready to Rumble was fun.
Ready to Rumble, yeah, I liked Ready to Rumble,
Not
definitely.
making it, but it was fun.
Yeah. Rumham says, Smash Ultimate, which isn't just a party game, but doubles as one if you use items.
Items are gross.
Fuck off. Bench says...
How much have you been playing that Street Fighter 6 items mode? Shawn, huh? Because it's so much more fun when you play with items, right? Oh, I bet you play it all the time. I bet you can't get enough of that. Having the bulls charge in, it's so fun and wacky. Can't get enough, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought.
I play the default mode, just like I play the default mode in Smash.
My God.
Weird how that works, right?
You shut the hell up. Next.
Bench JC, the youngster nominating Super Smash Flash 2.
Oh, that's cute. That's adorable.
Good try, Bench. Shout outs to running that on your high school or middle school computer.
Jeff Grubb has said in chat that Rocky is greater than Fight Night, and he's correct. I played that Rocky game not too long ago.
PS2 Rocky?
What? Yeah, well, I had it on Xbox. That's a good game. That game's fun.
That game sucks shit.
Sucks shit.
Holy hell. Oh, I've been told. Matt Rare Monkey says Oscar 120%. The cool thing is when the super bar hits 120%, it slowly drains and you have infinite supers during this time. Oh, that's like an SNK game when you go into like max mode or whatever. Yeah, max mode. Sleeve
What's wrong?
McDickle?
Is that Sleeve McDickle? Is that their name? Is this Sleeve McAustin? Did they change their name?
Whoever you are,
they picked Eternal Champions. Look, they're not a serious person. We could just move on.
Drew Man says fighting games aren't my jam. However, I did play Soul Calibur 2 because Link was in it. I think that's definitely something that was influential on a lot of people. Pikmin Wolf 5 says, please, for the love of God, put a Tekken game on there. Mike seems like someone who hates Tekken for no good reason. So
I don't hate Tekken. You learned what it was that I liked Virtual Fighter, I liked Sega, and I resented Tekken for a while because of it.
And broadly speaking, we just haven't played a lot of Tekken. So, hey, at least we're giving a shout out to Tekken 3 somewhere.
Let's see.
Protobound says Garo Mark of the Wolves. SNK's response to Third Strike that I'd argue looks, sounds, and plays better. Also being more balanced.
I will say that at this moment, I will actually feel worse not having Garu than Tekken 3 on the list. I would actually say that. Just because I think, I don't know.
I'd give you that one.
It's like the SNK representation, just from what I've seen of it. I don't know, but we'll see.
All right, we'll see. We're almost done here.
And also, Garu, Werewolves of London.
Beautiful. Reller610 says, Tekken 3, please. DMC Depressed Me Crying says, Smash 64, the only Smash where Kirby is good. They have a Kirby avatar for the audio listeners.
Kirby is, well, I forget. I don't know where the patches were. Kirby wasn't terrible in 4 in Ultimate, was he? I don't know. I liked playing as Kirby in those games.
Not as good, but yeah. Wong Gift says is, of course, the Les Miserables fighting game Arm Joe.
What? Oh my God. Is that Valjean versus the police?
Jean Valjean versus the police. This has to be like a meme or something. There's no way.
Oh my God. But
you're there. It's like some jank ass Arc Sys game from like 2001.
Change. Men like me can never change.
He says, just kidding.
My duties to the law. You have no rights. Come with me, 24601. Now the wheel has turned around. Jean Valjean is nothing now. Dare you speak to me of crime and the price you have to pay. Every man is born in sin. Every man must find his way. You know nothing of Javert. I was born inside a jail. I was born with scum like you. I am from the gutter too. But now in that song, you're supposed to have thank you. You're supposed to have Jean Valjean singing his bit too. And I need a Jean Valjean to do this with me, so...
Well, guess what? I'm not fucking nerd, Mike, so I can't do that for you. He says, just kidding, I've never played this. It's Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which wins because of character selection and music. It's always B. Corgi nominates Project Justice. Get some rival schools series representation.
I had to admit, my rival schools Project Justice knowledge isn't, like, vast. I've played a bit of them and do like them, but nothing crazy.
Yeah. Same. That's not why I played at Galloping Ghost and thought.
Yeah, that's cool. Where I played. That's where I played it too.
Yeah. MN Goldie says rival schools and also Oscar 120%. Inufe nominates Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate for the OG Xbox or Dead or Alive 4 for the 360, which I hear are both good fighting games.
I've seen that like combo pack of Dead or Alive 1 and 2 Ultimate on Xbox. At first I was like, oh, maybe I could just have 3 and that's fine, but now maybe I'll have to pick 1 and 2 up also.
Sir Meatwad brings up a game we haven't even mentioned yet, I will say. Samurai Showdown.
Yeah, I was going to ask about Samurai Showdown because, but you go ahead. What did they have to say?
Or Garo Mark of the Wolves. So I think if we put an SNK game on there, it would be Garo between the two. Because Sam Show is just, it's niche. Like a game niche. Where you basically when you die in 2 hits, it's like, it's going to be niche, but it's cool. I like it.
I liked when that lady did her super move and she got naked during it. There's a screen, so yeah. But I
think Dan already put one in here, but I'll just say, I know Samurai Pain, all right, but listen to the bass guitar in the MVC2 Carnival stage, which I won't play here because it might break things, but yes, we know.
Knows all that. Well, yeah. Well, people wouldn't hear anyways from your computer. That would have to play it. No, okay.
They would hear it. Here's the thing.
Yes.
We got to finalize this list.
Yeah, and here's my thing.
Yeah.
It's so tough. I feel bad about there being 2 Smash Bros. Games, but we're kind of at an impasse because I'm not going to allow Melee to be taken off the list. I don't think you're going to allow Ultimate to be taken off the list. So that's kind of an impasse there.
Yeah, Ultimate's just too good.
It is too good, but like it would not be a list I took part in if Melee wasn't on it. Like I feel that strongly about it, right? It'd be weird to me in a way. Which one of the ones that aren't on there would you want to put on the most?
I would say I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm gonna make executive decision. Street Fighter 6. I'm just gonna say too recent.
Yeah,
I think we just don't even consider it.
Plus, it just kind of gives us an out on that because it is. Yeah, right. Yeah, so that helps.
Yeah, to be clear, me and Mike both love.
We love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. I'm traveling to freaking Las Vegas to play Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I love that game.
It's a little early.
Persona 4 Arena, not quite. I'm not quite feeling that one.
Okay.
And same with Power Stone 2. Power Stone 2, we were like kind of
interesting
just for funsies.
I mean, I'll tell you. I kind of want Garou to get on the list a bit. It's really good. I think it'd be a shame. I think it makes our list look a little unserious without a straight up SNK game on there. And I think Garou's the best of them.
Of the little I've played of both Tekken and Garo, because here's the thing. Mike, I would actually say Dragon Ball FighterZ overall over both of those.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. I don't know. My enthusiasm is only so high for that one.
Which I understand because you haven't really liked.
Yeah, but you're right in terms of like there should be an Arc System game on there. Also,
yeah, and I just feel like that's the one, even though it's basically a Marvel vs. Capcom game, like it can't be understated how big Dragon Ball FighterZ was.
Right, but then I also feel
came out.
Yeah, then I feel bad about Tekken.
All right, let's run down the list. Silly? Well, hold on. Let's run down the list for the audio listeners real quick.
Yeah, tell them where we are.
From 1 to 10, we currently have Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Killer Instinct 2013, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Soul Calibur 2, Capcom vs. SNK 2, Vampire Savior, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, and Tekken 3.
Is there any way I could talk you into letting Melee just be the Smash Brothers representative? No, Ultimate. I can't do it. Just can't even do it.
It's
you play
insane.
it with items on. You don't even care about the game. Clear. You don't even play it for real. Like, why do you care?
It's insane to me that anyone would make a list where there is a Smash game and you don't include Ultimate because of, again, the package.
You're really obsessed with packages. Okay. I think maybe we should get rid of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, actually. I don't know.
Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
I don't know if it's as important as Garu, anyways. Or
Mike,
it's not an important list.
This feels so weird to me to say.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a Mortal Kombat not being on here.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat's always been more... And I know it's been better about that recently. It's been a little bit flash over substance. It always has been.
So I think we're in agreement, like, either 9 or 10 feels like the ones that we don't super care about.
They're definitely the
Ultimate
weakest.
Mortal Kombat 3 or Tekken 3.
I somehow feel worse taking Tekken off than Mortal Kombat, even though Mortal Kombat 3 means so much more to me.
Yeah, I think if someone went back, I think they would find more to like in Tekken 3 if they actually got into it rather than Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I think Mortal Kombat 3, I think you had to be there. I don't think anybody's playing Mortal Kombat 3 now and appreciating it.
All right,
really.
Here, we'll go over this for the audio listeners, but let me rearrange things a little bit here. And how does this feel to you? This list of 10. Like if we take UMK3 off, put Garo on at the bottom, and then Tekken sticks around at 9. That
looks pretty good to me.
It looks like an us leaning list, which, hey, it's our list. We get the right to do so. But I think it's a good list.
I think it's a good list.
Okay.
Yeah. I like this.
The one thing I want to ask about is how strongly do you feel about CVS 2?
Not that strongly. It could go lower.
But it stays on the list.
Oh, it stays on the list.
Okay.
It's on.
If it's staying on the list, I think that's fine. Because as much as I love the Darkstalkers series, I recognize that Vampire Savior being at like 8 is like probably where it deserves to be.
Yeah, it seems about right to me.
Because it's in part there because of my love for it, but also like in part influence. I think that feels right. All right. So then, how do we feel about the order here?
Generally, pretty good to me. Actually, I mean,
I think it's like generally good.
Like, obviously, Killer Instinct being that high is that's your discretion.
I could move it down. I could move it down a little, but. Yeah. It is an if you know situation.
Yeah. And plus, then it looks nicer having the two Smash Brothers games separated by something.
Yeah, separated by something. Yeah.
Something. Doing some work there. Yeah.
Dan Park is pointing out VSAV is in there because it's a Midwest show, and you're not wrong. Mike, I don't know if you know this. The Vampire Savior capital of the world is in Ohio.
What?
That's where everyone gathers from around the world for their like world championship.
Where in Ohio?
It's at one of the arcades. I can't
be Columbus
remember.
Or something like that.
Yeah, someone in the chat might know.
It's got to be.
Yeah.
Oh, Cincy.
That's right.
Cincy. No wonder I didn't hear about
Cincy,
it.
That's right.
Cincy may as well be another state, as far as I'm concerned. So far away. Okay.
I'm just looking at once over. I think in general this looks good. Yeah, like again, a Mike and Shawn leaning list. Yes. I think a good list over. All right, we're locking in then. Reading it off for the audio listeners. We'll go to bottom to top one more time. Number 10 is Garo, Mark of the Wolves. Number 9 is Tekken 3. Number 8, Vampire Savior. Number 7, Capcom vs. SNK 2. Number 6, Soul Calibur 2. And in the top 5, we have number 5, Super Smash Bros. Melee!
Oh, the intro alone.
Number 4, Killer Instinct 2013, coming to your home only on Xbox One. Number 3, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Number 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And number 1, Street Fighter 3, Third Strike. That's our list. We're sticking to it. And if you don't like it, you can go make your own.
There's a comment in chat that said a great list for casual fighting gamers, and that is just so passive aggressive. It's just like incredible.
Oh my god!
I think it's a good list.
I think it's a good list too.
Yeah. Hey, if two Smash Brothers bothers you, just imagine one of them's gone and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3
make
Dragon
your own
Ball
list.
Fighters. Yeah, you can make your own. You can make your own list. Yeah. I like it. I'd happily play all of these games.
We did good, Mike. We did good.
Yeah, and just because I saw someone complain about no Street Fighter 2 again, so again, it feels good for me to say this for once. Boomer! Jeff Grubb saying, do you even know who Cassandra Cain is? Did I tell you about this, Shawn?
No.
Yeah, like when we were playing Batgirl, it was like there was some Batgirl. I was like, who's this Batgirl? I thought Barbara Gordon was Batgirl. If he would try, like, obviously that's Cassandra Cain. She's like a ninja.
Yeah.
Then there's like some comment like, well, these guys don't even know who Cassandra Cain is. They're such mainstream Batman fans. And I'm like, man, what is the opposite of a household name? You know, because that's what a Cassandra Cain is. All right, everybody, we're gonna take one last short break. We'll get back. We'll talk a little bit about some games we've been playing. We'll wrap up here. I'm gonna go to the restroom real quick, actually.
Yeah, same. Christian, entertain the people.
Talk to the people. Tell people about how you hate our list.
Yeah, tell people how good our list is.
Oh no, I'm sick. I'm sniffing a lot. My allergies. You made me talk now. What the fuck? Hi, chat. Yeah, they made that. Yes, both of them. Yes. Man, no King of Fighter. That's messed up. I would put King of Fighter first, motherfucker. I can't change the list. Listen, this is their list. I don't want anything to do with this list, by the way. I don't want to be. This is like a crime that I don't want to be associated with. This is like I would have picked like 5 of the games that are on this list of 10, straight up. But yeah, whatever. It's their list. They put their name on it, so I don't know. If there's a god, they should be punished. That's what I believe. Sorry, my allergies are acting up.
Werewolves London. I don't forgive
I don't know. I love the list. The list is great. Yeah.
Oh,
pretty good. Pretty good list.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Oop, gotta fix Shawn here. Good thing. Do this now while he's gone. Oh, look at that. It says be right back. How cute.
So, yeah, it has a beer back. Why don't you have a dad? I thought you were a professional.
Nah, I'm a fraud. Oh wait, that's right. I have to make him bigger.
I'm allergic to bullshit. Yes.
Oh, true. Wow. Very cool.
I don't know what you're talking. The experience share. I don't know what's this. Why am I full of shit? I don't know.
Oh, because you don't
I'm
like our
being
list?
called out. I don't know. I love the list. I was telling the chat that I would pick every game.
Okay, I don't believe you anymore.
What?
I think you're lying.
I'm not lying. You know I can't lie. It's impossible to me to
Jeff's
lie.
asking you if your allergies are actually just COVID again.
No, it's not COVID. I hope it's not COVID. Are you like casting a fucking
Maybe.
curse
We
on
do
me?
know that Jeff has witch powers.
He does, yeah. He's a. I mean, I think he lost his powers when he cut his hair, though.
Oh, right. Well, his hair's been growing back, though. You think it doesn't come back? It's just gone forever.
He's testing the waters a little bit, you know. He's like, I'm gonna see if I can like give this guy COVID.
Oh man, that's stuck in my head. Better than the Patriot theme song I've had stuck in my head for the last week. God.
The Patriot theme song.
No one knows it. It's an obscure John Williams score from some weird like 2000 era bizarrely American patriotic movie with Mel Gibson done by Roland Emmerich during his Independence Day glow.
I'm pretty good at Among Us. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're pretty good. You're not bad.
But not because I lie, it's because I'm really good at doing the tasks. I'll learn every task really fast.
Matt Elhor's right. Yeah, it was like they're trying to. The Patriot was just trying to make Braveheart in the like a Revolutionary War Braveheart. It doesn't really work. The movie's not very good, Kitchen Goat, but the score is very good. And Odo from Star Trek: Deep Space Nine's in it. They kill him, but he's in it.
Oh no!
And he has a heroic
Rest in
death.
peace.
Yes. Well, he's also actually dead too, so that still applies. Werewolves of London. God, I know I have that stuck in my head because of Garou.
Is Dan watching Annette again tonight?
I don't think so. Is he streaming?
Speaking of musicals.
Speaking of musicals, I think he's seen it 4 times now, maybe 5 times. He's got to be.
Jesus Christ! I was angry just watching it once.
Yeah,
I can't believe he watched it 4 fucking times. Holy
did.
shit!
Are you talking about that goddamn movie again?
You're talking about Annette.
Yeah. Every time Mike sings, I think about that movie.
All right, ready? Turn your camera back on.
Yep. 1 sec.
Gotta make sure you're aligned.
By the way, before people think I'm a fake Darkstalkers fan, I remember when I said 91. Nick reminded me that's when Street Fighter 2 came out. So
There you go.
There you go.
Nope, that's not the right thing. This is the right thing.
20? I think it's gonna be 21.
Okay, you got me in the right place.
Almost.
He chopped your head off, but yeah, the top of your head off. So
Yeah, that's good enough. All right. I'll put it a little higher. There we go. Okay. We'll do a pause. We'll come right back. Alrighty. We are back. Shawn, what have you been playing?
Would you believe it? Whole lot of Street Fighter 6.
Oh, there you go. Are you doing that Rashid life?
Oh, hell no. Fuck Rashid.
Wow.
I've been playing Manon. I mentioned to you and Christian when we were talking about the other night, but she feels sort of like that Laura role, the Alex role, that like hybrid grappler, sort of like doing other things. So that's what I've been playing. We danced around it a little bit, but I am going to Evo next weekend. That's in part why we're doing this, is because Evo's coming up next weekend. Make sure to watch everyone. There's the smallest possibility I might have a streamed match, so I'll tweet out if I do.
Okay, let us know.
Because if I win my first match, I will get to play against Fudo, one of the best Street Fighter players in the world.
Oh.
Christian, I'm gonna fucking die, man.
Oh, bro, no, don't worry, bro. You're gonna get it. You're gonna do top 8.
My platinum Manon taking me all the way to the top.
There you go.
Fuck
You just have to be platinum, so I could be in the tournament?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're invited. Everyone's invited.
Yeah, they won't believe it when they see my Lily. I'm a little rusty. I haven't played in a couple weeks, but yeah, I'll do.
But yeah, that's been taking up a lot of my time. Single player wise, I beat Tears of the Kingdom not too long ago. We had the whole discussion that's up on the YouTube
People
channel.
are beating it right now. Yeah,
that is where we got that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Most people are beating it right now.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, handsome Squidward. Yeah.
But the other game I've been playing was Final Fantasy 16, which I beat a while ago.
Beat
now.
it?
I beat that. Yeah, most people are beating it right now.
For me now.
I beat it like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And it is. I have thoughts about it. I definitely want to talk to you about it. Maybe we can find some place to talk about this more in depth.
Yeah,
but,
I still need to play more of it. I'm still.
Yeah, how far are you in it?
Like I did the Ifrit fight, not like the first, the other Ifrit, not that far.
Oh, you're pretty early.
I know, I am, and
okay.
It's just I don't spend that much time in my living room playing games anymore, so I gotta just kind of really force myself back in there. That's the problem.
Yeah. But like, in summary, no spoiler opinion on, I think it's very good, but it's weird. It's lacking in some ways. The story is, I'm just going to say, because I feel like people maybe almost like stop talking about it. They just like jump to it's bad. It's problematic in a lot of ways.
Interesting. Okay. It does. Because like Final Fantasy 14, especially the later expansions, like the big takeaway is just how amazing the story is. So I find it a little concerning that is not people's takeaway, because it's the same people. It's just, it's the same sort of people. So
it feels like it feels like it wasn't made by them, which is so weird. It feels like the story is not a creative team 3 or whatever. It doesn't
creative
feel
business
like
unit,
business
2,
unit. Thank
or
you.
Whatever it is. Yeah,
it's 3. I can remember the word.
Is it 3? Shit, my bad, dude.
Okay. But yeah, the story is messy. The gameplay is really good. And
you like character action games a lot.
I love character action games, and that's kind of the problem with this. And I told this to you the other night, but it feels like it's balanced like a character action game, which does mean that's easy because you're supposed to show off in character action games. And people are used to RPGs having progressive difficulty even in the jobber fights. It just feels like you are kind of like whacking like sort of soulless puppets a lot of the time. And then you're just trying to get to the big icon fights, which was a problem that I had for much of the game. It gets better at the end, I feel, but the problem is it's a 40-hour game, and character action is often good because it's, like in that 10 to 15 hours. Exactly. And so it almost feels like they made an incredible character action game and then like shoehorned in the Final Fantasy story to make it a Final Fantasy game and stretched out to 40 hours. So I'm very conflicted on it. My thoughts are still forming a little bit on it, but I think it's a very good game that is weirdly simultaneously a return to form for Final Fantasy and also messy in ways that 15 wasn't. It's like a different kind of
right, because 15's messy. But 15's messy in a lot of we wear our production problems on our sleeve kind of way.
15 was development hell messy. This is problematic decisions messy.
Okay.
So
I'm definitely gotta try to play more. I thought in my staycation I was gonna like play the rest of it. Didn't touch it.
I will say, Mike, you haven't even gotten to remotely the best of the icon fights, and that I think is enough to keep you playing.
I mean, and they were even just the starting one, right? And as far as this point, the Phoenix Ifrit one is so freaking cool. Like they go full 2 towers with it, and I'm a big fan of that. Yo,
that's by far the worst one.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets good.
I think it was already better than the Garuda one, but if you say so. Okay. Gosh, but anything else, Shawn?
No, that's basically it for me, just because Street Fighter 6 has been taking up so much time. What you been up to?
Kind of still a lot of Diablo 4, actually. Just kind of was playing the season, playing with my brothers, playing it to kill some time here and there, which, it is more Diablo 4. I'm still having fun with that. Actually, I think, aren't they supposed to do another developer stream tomorrow? Because they have to explain their patch to make sorceresses and barbarians better and stuff like that. We'll see.
Wild situation over there.
Yeah, the community is very much in full-on we hate everything mode. That's like always the problem with Blizzard games.
Sure.
Is once you start slipping, everything starts annoying those people. They're gonna start complaining about everything. Well, they're just.
I used to play a lot of Overwatch, so trust me, I know.
I have Overwatch. I have World of Warcraft all the time. Oddly enough, not right now. Their players, I think, are pretty happy. They like this expansion, so. At least World of Warcraft's doing okay. Christian said we're not playing Remnant 2. I don't know. Doesn't really look like my thing. That game both looks beautiful and also incredibly boring to me graphically. I don't know.
I mean, that's how I feel about all Souls games, so I'm not even going to touch this.
Let's see. There's just so many things. I mean, I'm also just still playing a lot of Final Fantasy 5 and actually kind of in Act 3 on that one, which is good because there's other things I want to play even on my Switch, like Pikmin, like Bicky Illusion Island. So, yeah, it felt like we had a little break, and it already feels like that's kind of at an end, and things are piling
Too many
up.
good games. Like, when did games get good again?
Yeah, right? What the hell?
Incredible.
All right, I think we got a couple more super chats here. This one's from Josh P. Wiggs. It says, the fuck is this? I come for Jeff Scrub, not TurboShawn Wiki Face. TurboShawn. Ever been called that before?
That's a new one.
I like that. And then L. Greg says, what games would Christian put on the list instead? I'm giving money so he has to talk during the main podcast now. Okay, Christian, you can come out of your hole for a second.
Wait, what? I was distracted. I wasn't even listening to this podcast.
Give us like 1 or 2 changes you would make to our top 10.
Yeah,
I would put King of Fighter 98 first, and that's it. Because King of Fighter 98 is... Yeah, before King of Fighter 98, games didn't have style. And after King of Fighter 98, they all got style.
All video games before King of Fighters 98 didn't matter.
I respect it. I respect the choice.
All right, thank you.
Not number one, but I respect the choice.
Thank you, Christian. All right, everybody. I think...
Thank you.
Going to start wrapping it up for us now. Do I have the outro? I'll play in a second here. But Shawn, first tell everybody, where can they find more of you? You've been doing good work over at Giant Bomb.
Thank you. Yeah. Personally, you can find me on the shambling corpse of Twitter at TurboShawn _, and at most other places that's TurboShawn SHAWN. I'm on Blue Sky. Hey, it seems like that might be where we're going. So check me out there if you're on there. Twitch.tv/TurboShawn. I know, some people have been missing my streams. I do plan to get back to those after I get back from Evo. I'm not training in Street Fighter 6 and stuff. Picked up Sonic Frontiers in the Steam Summer Sale. Excited to try that out.
There we go.
And then, professionally, Giant Bomb. Follow us on social media where I post, as I've been calling them, the mini bombs, the little short edited highlight reel clips I put up on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all the usual places. So check them out and share them around. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, there's good stuff. A new one with Grubb and his special key are very good. It's very good.
Strokin'.
Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. All right, everybody. I think I am going to be on Unprofessional Fridays tomorrow on Giant Bomb. So, Jeff won't be there and I will, so it'll probably be the best one yet. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to start playing this music, which Shawn actually probably won't even be able to hear, will he?
I thought it was already playing, Mike.
No, I should have played it earlier. I was like, no. Sometimes I do it too late, and we have to start running to finish talking. So I think I need to higher the volume. Here we go. That's
okay. You got plenty of time to tell people all the things that you're up to on the internet.
Well, we have the poll going right now for the Game Mess Game Club. In our choices, there are some game I never heard of, Super Metroid, which Shawn is excited about, and a third game. Shawn, help me out. You made the poll, don't you remember?
The Sexy Brutal and then
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds, not okay. Outer Worlds. Outer Wilds.
It gets confusing. Yeah. So we'll end that poll at the end of the month. We're not doing our discussion for Return of the Obra Dinn until a little bit later, kind of start at next month because Shawn's going to Evo. He's going to be busy. So, yeah. Same thing with Jeopardy, everybody. Not happening tomorrow, not happening at the...
Yeah, Patreon content, we'll get to it the week of August 7th. You boys need vacations. Thanks for understanding.
Grubb out, Shawn out, so everything there's getting delayed just a smidge. Once Jeff's back too, we're going to figure out that Columbo podcast, the Columbros, which I assume will just be... We'll each watch an episode of Columbo, and then we'll talk about it. There we go. Starting with that, that first
idea.
Steven Spielberg directed one, which is relatively famous. This is a good chance for all of you to be watching the Columbo with us, as you should be. Have you watched much Columbo, Shawn?
I've seen Columbo. I haven't watched much of it, but yes, I've seen it in passing.
All right, you just seen Columbo.
Lived it.
Yeah, I lived the Columbus. I was there.
Born and molded by it.
I was there, Gandalf. I was there when the Columbo Wars happened. Yeah, exactly like that. Oh, now I'm tired of vamping. I should have absolutely played this song better. Jeff would have done such a much better job with that.
Nah, he gets some things right.
He does some things okay. I'll give him a little bit.
So, what are we at? Like 400
we're good. Thank you, everybody. Bye. I'll see you later.
Enjoy your gaming. Enjoy your gaming.
Most people are beating it right now.
Oh, let's freaking go.